All right, welcome everybody to another Wednesday episode of Precision Hoops. As you can see, we're going to be talking about our top 5 or our favorite defensive guards of all time. Real quick, let's go around and introduce everybody. Dart, you're here with us here on Wednesday. How you doing today?
Hello, everyone. Michael Jordan fans are the best. And today I've come to join the most precise basketball talk on YouTube today, Precision Hoops. I'm excited to join the conversation. I'm doing great.
That's good. Hoop God, how are you?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. Ready to get these holidays over with so I can continue collecting my coins and enjoy good basketball discussion with you guys. Hope y'all doing great.
Doing good. And right on time, Steam Engine, how you doing?
What's up, you guys? I'm sure you just saw my fat body come in front of the camera.
Yeah, we were just doing your intro. Oh, no. No! All right, anyways, I'm doing good. Mavs been playing really good. They've obviously had that great game against the Warriors, so I'm feeling pretty good right now, even though we lost to Oklahoma. But, yeah, I guess we can just jump into it. Dart, you want to – you've graced us with your presence. You want to lead off or give your thoughts? First, me and Steam Engine thought maybe we should give a quick, breakdown of how we selected our guys. So, for example – I was saying that anyone who played any kind of regular amount of small forward, so like a John Havlicek, Ron Artest, Battier, guys like those, I did not count those guys. I went for guys who are 90% or predominantly played a point guard or shooting guard position. If you want to elaborate on how you picked your guys or anything like that.
Yeah, I'll go last. Don't make me special here.
Okay,
this is your guys' show, yeah. But
Speem, your thoughts on some of the guys you selected in terms of what I just mentioned?
Yeah, so because I'm a little bit of a casual on this topic, I chose a lot of players that could be either small forward or two guard or point. Like I mentioned before, your Bruce Bowens, your even your Kobe's, players like that kind of ride that line, but at the same time can guard, 1 through 3 fairly easily.
All right, Hoop God, what about you? Anything you want to add before we start?
Yeah, so I was really going through and looking at number one, the guys who won depoy, albeit point guard or shooting guard, and also the amount of time that you were an all-league defender. So, if you're up there with that 9 time, which I think it's only 3 guards that are 9-time all defensive first team, and then anything after that, that's gonna weigh in the balance. And then of course, if you have a defensive player of the year, which that heavily weighs in the balance. So that's just how I kind of constructed my list. And unfortunately, I got to bring some honorable mentions since we cut it down to 5 because I actually had a roster of 10, but I'm good with just cutting it down to 5 for time purposes.
Yeah, actually, as I was doing this, I'm sure our top 5-ish are going to be pretty similar. I have a feeling. I was almost thinking that the real conversation is who is 6 through 10 might actually be the more interesting convo depending on how you rank them. But you want to go ahead and start off? Who you got? Let's start at 5. Do we want to start at 5 and honorable mentions? Guys maybe who could have fit the 5th slot but that we left out?
Good with that.
Pretty much my entire list is all honorable mentions. So we can start.
All right. Well, you want to go, Hoop God? Tell me who your 5th is or your honorable mentions.
Okay, so let me get back to my notes screen. So my honorable mentions are Walt Clyde Frazier, which he has, if I'm not mistaken, 7 total all defensive teams, but no depoys. I mean, I'm not, like I said, he would have made the top 10, so he's honorable mention. Alvin Robertson, I do know he won a depoy, but I have another guy over him for specific reasons that I'll get to later. Then Joe Dumars, Tony Allen, CP3, Rondo, and John Stockton round out my honorable mentions list.
Yeah, interesting. I was doing research. Alvin Robertson has He's one of the few players to ever record a quadruple double.
Yeah,
He got one of his stat lines in steals. He got 10 steals in that game, which
that's
is
crazy.
just the only non-center to win it and the only guy to ever do it with steals as one of his 10. I believe the other guys got blocks or something probably. I liked your honorable mention list, although I do have Albert Robertson on my top 5 list. Again, I believe he's the all-time leader in steals per game still. Not that necessarily is going to be the overall stat. Marcus Smart, what do y'all think about him being top 10? Top 10
of all time?
Yeah, see, I can't put him above those guys because this is the thing. I've seen Marcus Smart, with all due respect to him. I just don't think he's on the level of the guys that I have over him. Like I would not replace Joe Dumars with Marcus Smart.
I agree.
I would not replace John Stockton, believe it or not, with Marcus Smart. Like none of those guys.
Yeah.
Like no, all those guys I have.
The one thing about I would say about Marcus Smart though is he's a product of the current NBA, right? It's like I don't think he'd even be in the conversation 20 years ago. I don't know if you guys remember, but he has one of the most famous flops of all time when he threw himself out of bounds and actually hurt his elbow. And I think that was a prime example of like, yeah, this dude's a great defender, but it's because the NBA is where it is now. Yeah. Top 10 is very, very generous.
Okay, I agree. I would probably keep him out of my top 10 too, but my thing with him, I think he's just good energy, but that's every defensive player, right? And I think athletically, size-wise, he is a little limited compared to some of the other guys, right? So, I'd probably leave him on the top 10 too. Dart, you got anything you want to add? Anybody we've talked about?
Guess that's a no.
Let's see. What do y'all guys think of D Wade? I think D Wade's defense is a little underrated because he got a flash on offense. But I thought he's a decent defender, right? He's a good two-way guy that we don't really think of him like that, but he is a good two-way player.
Yeah, I can't believe I left D Wade out. So I got to add him to the honorable mention.
Yeah, he's on my honorable mention list.
Okay. Let's see. I guess if I say too many people, I might say someone who you guys have ranked already. But so number 5, I have DJ Dennis Johnson.
You know, I was looking at that and I was shocked to see that DJ had more all defensive teams than Sidney Moncrief. I was like, oh wow. I mean, I knew DJ was he was an all-time great defensive guard, but just off the riff, I wouldn't have expected him to beat out Sidney Moncrief for all defensive teams. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, he was also, a lot of people don't know this, he was also a Finals MVP when he won with the Supersonics, which I know not necessarily defense, but yeah, good.
No, I was just saying, like, there was a lot of discussion. People were trying to say that was like a Curry Iguodala thing. And I was like, well, to be fair to DJ, I mean, if he outplayed Gus Johnson on both sides of the floor and he was more impactful, then it's justified to me, just to me. I think other people see it differently, but I'm sorry. Like, if a guy goes out there and he has an all-time great performance, then he earned it, versus just one, big game or whatever.
And I snuck him at number 5, right, over some of the other guys we mentioned too. Is I do think mentally he's a gamer. I've always thought he seemed really cool under pressure. Like, he knows what's going on. He knows the situation. So as much as we think of like point guards being floor generals, if we're just thinking about defense, right, he seems like a good point of attack on defense mentally too. I just feel like he's very smart. He has a lot of wherewithal and awareness. I know that's kind of intangibles, but that's why I snuck him in at 5 over maybe some of there's maybe some other guys who you could maybe argue a little bit athletically, some other things you could look at. But if he's leading my defense as a sort of point of attack, right, I really like DJ's defensive game.
Cool stuff. Did I came in and out for a second there? Did everyone go except for me, or
I still have to give mine, I think.
I just named my number 5, and we did honorable mentions before that. If you have some guys you want to shout out that didn't make your list.
Yeah, so this is a thing for me that really it makes it hard because a lot of people will measure a lot of the greatness on defense purely off of the awards that they've gotten. Or then you got guys like T Perfect in the chat that'll just largely go off of these advanced analytics and stuff. So I wanted to shout out some guys that may have are underappreciated at large or just aren't considered as much, but still have some relative fame to their defense. It was already mentioned in the chat by Woodage with Slater Martin back in the day, and also Casey Jones. Casey Jones was famous for his defense on the Celtics as well, that didn't really have the opportunity to win these all defensive awards like a lot of the guys that you had mentioned. And just everyone before the all defense awards, because a lot of people will lean because it was prior to the steals and blocks being recorded. It was prior to the all defensive teams. These guys just get wildly pushed to the side, and people pretend that defense didn't exist before those awards and stats were invented or instituted at the very least on the NBA level. So just a shout out for the honorable mentions for them. For number 5 for guards, I am not as precise as you guys. I'm going to be making this list up on the fly to tell you a secret. Number 5 for guards. That's a tough one. You know what? I'm going to go with Jerry West. I think Jerry West was a great defender. I forget how many all NBA defenses he had, but I know that him and Kobe Bryant and I think Michael Jordan are the only ones to get a scoring title and all defensive team, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that is true. Yeah.
So I think that needs to be mentioned. And the all defensive team in the beginning of his career, also, if I'm not mistaken, was not accounted for along with some of these the steals and blocks. I think that he got some of those accounted for near the end of his career. So I'm going to go with number 5, Jerry West.
Yeah, so the defensive award started in 68-69, which would have been his 9th year in the league, and he still won 5 despite that. So the majority of his career, he didn't even have them. He still got 5 of them.
Yeah, and being an all-league defender. Yeah, it's only him, Kobe, and MJ. That's why, not to digress, but that's why I tell people that's one of the many reasons I have Jerry West over James Harden. I don't care if they get mad or not. Like, he played both sides of the floor.
Yeah, what's crazy about that, I think it's the leading the league in points and a first-team all-defense. I think Jerry West did it once, and Kobe did it twice or something like that, and Jordan did it like 9 or 10 times or whatever it was. So it's pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. Steam Engine. He keeps dropping in and out.
Yeah, you see how in tune I am with this topic. I'm on the same fly list you are, Dort. I think I might just name obscure names here. Did anyone mention Jason Kidd yet?
I had him as well on my list, but he's predominantly known as an off-ball defender, still a great defender, right? Good wherewithal, covers the floor, but no, I didn't have him on my list.
It was a toss-up for him at number 5, and actually I had Tony Parker on my list also at number 5. And the only reason I had Tony Parker up there, even though I couldn't stand him, is because him and Bowen were pretty much anchor points on that Spurs defense during a lot of that run, and he doesn't get credit for that. And then obviously, Jason Kidd, floor general on offense and defense, and I mean, he was playing smart defensive ball like all the way until late in his career. Like, you don't see that very often. So those would be, I think that's like a tie for 5 with those guys. Honorable mention though, Doug Christie did not get mentioned in this conversation at all. Kobe stopper.
The alleged Kobe.
Yeah, the alleged Kobe. Yeah. So you know,
Somebody's
yeah, that's for all the Kobe fans out there.
Another guy I saw come up a lot was CP3. I think he's a little overrated
He is.
in terms of what people think of his defensive accolades, mainly because of the steals. I just don't see him like as a elite defender, I guess. You know, I saw him up there a lot as like one of the best defensive point guards. I mean, smart, yes. You know, I'm sure off ball, I could see him being a lot better than maybe what I think. But in terms of just, again, when I think of guard, you have got to clamp someone up. I just don't think of Chris Paul like that.
He's a disruptor on defense, though.
That's a good word.
He does know how to play like those little technicalities, you know, like with the refs and all the in between the line stuff. So I think for that he should get a lot of credit. But he's been a dirty player on defense like since college. So I have a hard time including him, even though I do like him. He's historically a dirty player, even more so on defense than offense.
Yeah, to back. Oh, go ahead, Dart.
So I'm gonna shoot the. So Chris Paul is in my top 5 list. He's actually my number 4. So I'll just shoot from the hip with this. That way, since we're talking about Chris Paul as well, is that I do think that the steals titles matter. And that aspect of off-ball defense and even just being able to pick people's pockets as well. It's not the total package, but to be able to do it 6 times and consistently over your career, for me, I think that's valuable to be at the highest levels of that attribute of the game for that long. I understand, but I definitely understand your point, Nick. As the total package, yeah, he's definitely not as good as some of these other guys.
Yeah, and I was gonna mention another guy. I don't know if you have Bob Cousy on your list, but
it was another honorable mention I wanted to bring up too.
Yeah, he's still. I don't know how up to date this is, but I think he's top 50 defensive win shares all time. So there is that. I mean, he's got an argument.
Mm-hmm. Well, even with that, I mean, I was doing some research for this debate that me and Rex are possibly going to go over if it gets completed in time. And I didn't specifically bring it up, but I was watching some highlights and doing some research. He had some quick hands, and he's got quite a few steals highlights as well, just taking the ball out of people's hands. Bob Cousy.
Okay, so
real quick, can I have one more honorable mention? It's this his player. His name is not Draymond Green. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but this honorable mention. He's not a guard. I just want to put his name out there. Maybe he'll see this.
Mo Cheeks is another good honorable mention for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
He was a really good defensive player. So number 4, I already mentioned him earlier. I have Alvin Robertson. Kind of mentioned the cool stat, the only non-center to get a quadruple double, and one of those was in steals. He's got 1 DPOY, 6 times all defense, 3-time steal champion, 4-time all-star for what that's worth as well. So I have him. I think of more of a lockdown kind of guy. I got Alvin Robertson as my number 4.
Nice. Who's going next? Who got?
Wait, we already went with
we're
number
on 4. But did you do your 5?
Yeah,
no,
didn't you
I
lead off with?
Yeah, I just gave my honorable mentions. So
my
my
bad.
5th,
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. My 5th is Kobe. I mean, so all the guys I have above him, they did win a DPOY, but for him to have 12 times all defense, but not only that, but there are other things that I factor. So I'm looking at somebody who can pick up 94 feet, you know, just for whatever specific situation requires. Like, hey, I need you to hound this guy. I need a guy that can be like for a 1 possession lockdown defender. I need a stop. You know, prime example when he played in the 2008 Olympic trials, and Coach K was like, "Hey, I had to ask Kobe to shoot." And I think if a lot of people look in that 2010 in that NBA Finals, he was phenomenal on defense, right? If you go look at the the Lakers team defense, I think they were like maybe 101 or 102. Well, his individual net defensive rating was 99. And I factored that into the equation versus somebody who could just be on the team and have a high defensive rating, but they're not putting in the production. Now, if I can see the guy guarding Paul Pierce or guarding Rondo or guarding Ray Allen, all right, now that kind of gives a little bit more credence. So let me make sure that's everything I got listed. So picking up 94 feet, being a one possession defender, and somebody who can also disrupt the timing and the rhythm of the opponent's other guard. And prime example, do you guys remember when I think it was Kobe, he picked up D-Wade, right? He was just harassing him. And D-Wade literally had to pick his dribble up, because Kobe just locked in on him. Like, no, you're not going to get by me. There's a time when he done that to Jason Terry. I think it was a regular season game. Like, he just locked in on it, like that stuff right there. There's no stat for that. So you have to see it visually. And that's, of course, why I have him at number 5. Unfortunately, he never got the coveted Defensive Player of the Year. But, hey, we can't get them all. But, I mean, he cracked my top 5. So.
Speed Engine, you mentioned Tony Allen earlier, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure he got mentioned. Go ahead and give us
combo guys.
Yeah, go ahead and give us your 4 as well, Hoop God.
Okay, so my 4th I got listed is the great Michael Cooper. 8-time Defensive Player of the Year. Not 8-time all defense, my bad. 8-time all defense, 2-time, not 1-time Defensive Player of the Year, not twice, 1 time. I'm thinking about 88 when Jordan won it. But just seeing the people that he had to guard, right? Because he guarded point guards, shooting guards, small forwards, and at times switched off on power forwards, like not for an extended period of time, but whenever they needed him to. I got him number 4. Playing in the 80s in that era, I mean, he's seen the best of them, and he held his own. I mean, even Larry Bird quoted Michael Cooper was his toughest guard.
Yep.
Got him listed number 4. Not saying that he, I could possibly rearrange it, but like the way I was just going down, like, okay, boom, 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 boom. All right, I got him slotted 4th, so that'll be my 4th, Michael Cooper.
Do you know what's interesting about his Defensive Player of the Year that he won? He came off the bench. He only started 2 games that year that he won it, which I just find mind-blowing in a way that he won that award as someone coming off the bench. That seems pretty remarkable.
Yeah, being a 6 man, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds like Ginobili winning it, right? It's kind of like a cheat code because Ginobili's basically a starter, but for all intent and purposes, he comes off the bench. And
his electricity is on offense. Like, you just have to imagine that coming in on defense. Like, that's quite a, offense. We can see that, right? We can points, your field goal percentage, right? We can see kind of what you're producing. But like defense, to win that coming off the bench, like you must have just come in and people can just be like, that guy right there, that guy is his easily Defensive Player of the Year. It's like you had to have been explosive when you were on the floor.
What's funny is when you describe that, I think of Marcus Smart when you describe that. Like he comes on, and not that anybody's scared to have him guard them, but he changes the tone of a game. Like there's no question about that. One way or the other, he does shift how the offense does have to play.
Yeah, and like I guess Marcus Smart's hard because he's like a little terrier out there, right. baseline to baseline, right? And that kind of energy and that impact is can be lightning in a bottle at times, and can really change a game or even a quarter or 5 minutes or something like that. But yeah, who do you have at number 4, Speed Engine?
So I was going to ask you guys because I don't know how popular this is going to be. Do you guys all have Stockton in your top 3?
I got Stockton.
No. Yes, I do.
Okay,
I do.
I feel terrible because I have him at 4. But if I remember correctly, I only have the names. He still leads the NBA in steals all time, right?
Yeah.
Right. So for this little man to lead like all of these athletes in the history of the NBA in steals, I think is remarkable. on what should have been a championship team if the greatest player in all time didn't exist. I have him at my 4. I feel bad about it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I guess just for me, he's worthy of it, right? Like we're splitting hairs here, right? But I guess, again, on offense, you can sort of methodically plan. You don't necessarily have to be the most athletic in a way, right? Like someone like a Dirk or something. Like offense, I think, can come from many different forms. But defense, man, it is 90% energy, 10%, just intangibles, right? Whatever else you want to put that. But defense is just effort, energy, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I want to know how good your lateral movement is. I want to know your wingspan. I want to know, and unfortunately Stockton just, again, I'm trying to be in the mindset of a defensive guy. He's a great terrier out there. He's out there mixing it up. He's getting the steals and he's getting the results, and he's tough, right? He shows up every game and he plays good defense, right? But is he a guy, does he really compare to a frame like Jordan? If you really had to have a guy lock you up, I guess I'd rather take Stockton to guard me, right? That's kind of how I thought of it.
He gets in those lanes, though. That's
100. Yeah. I mean, we're splitting hairs. I'm just trying to, my thought was just, physically, athletically, maybe not the most imposing. But then again, Cooper's on this list, right? So I kind of am a hypocrite.
Yeah, but Cooper is his wingspan, man. Like he can cover some ground.
Yeah.
He had like a 6'9", I want to say, maybe 6'9".
6'7", yeah, he was. He's just skinny, though, I guess, is what a lot of people would say. But yeah, he was, I guess, a little bigger, technically, his frame.
Yeah.
So yeah, Stockton at 4, even though he leads the league in a crazy defensive statistic.
No,
but that's good.
No, I was going to say, but see, that's the thing on you can't stat pad on defense. So yeah, you have to have that want to. That's just something that you inspire to do. You can't just say, okay, yeah, let me play. No, you're playing defense all the time because that's what you're doing in practice. You have to practice that habit. You can't just go out there and decide I want to play defense today. So,
yeah, I was gonna say I've always wished a stat they would come up with is tips led to turnovers, like tip balls that led to turnovers. I always wish they had that, and that could also. I wish they would also have if there was a way to see. Well, I guess blocks are kind of that's good enough to record. But yeah, I wish they had a stat that was tips led to turnovers, something like that. I would love to see that stat.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but does that not fall under the deflection category?
Yeah, I guess that would be a good number too. I mean, really, you just want to know how often people are getting their hands in the lanes and stuff like that. But I don't know if a deflection counts. Like if let's say a guy drives by you, right, and you reach around him, you'll reach around and you no pun intended, and you
this is going places.
Yeah. Sorry, YouTube. And the ball comes out. Does that count as a deflection, or is a deflection only when the ball's been passed and then you tip the ball?
If I'm not mistaken, you remember when Scotty, when he was on his temper tantrum, and he was like, say if I knock the ball away from a defender and Michael Jordan recovers it, he gets the steal. Well, Scotty, you created the deflection. So if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the foundation of it is if player A knocks the ball away from the opponent or knocks the ball away, on a pass, and the opponent recovers it and it's counted as a deflection. But I'm not sure the one you mentioned, if you knock the ball away, but they recover it, I'm not sure.
It looks like, just quickly what AI has told me from Google. It looks like it also counts if you interrupt an opponent's dribble, that counts as a deflection. So yeah. So in that example you gave with Scotty, he would there's deflections, and then I would like to see deflections led to turnovers as well. But deflections is probably good enough if it's counting it like that.
Wouldn't that be a very difficult stat to keep though? The deflections that lead to turnovers, sure, that's easy. That's black and white. But deflections in general, I agree with you. I think it's a very important defensive kind of like trait, it should be tracked. But I have no idea how you do that with any kind of accuracy when, like, you see how stats are now. The inverse would be, when AOH did the video about LeBron's assists, right? Or his rebounds. It's like, well, I mean, somebody tipped that to him. So is that a deflection? I agree, though. I think it should be tracked. I don't know how you do that and then do it effectively.
The other stat was tips led to offensive rebounds. That was the other stat. You said that, it reminded me of it. That's another one I wish we had somehow.
Yeah, because D-Wade, he was great at that. Like, if he couldn't get the rebound, like, he would tip it out to somebody. Kobe, too. Yeah, like, I think that's something that they should track. They don't have the metric, but I think that particular play, that goes into the plus-minus prime example. If you tip the ball out on offense and then somebody scores, like to Ray Allen, or if Kobe tips it out to Derek Fisher and they score, well, you get a +1, in that category. But I think, they should afford that.
Because, like, I know we're not like the biggest stat guys. We don't like to live and die just solely based on stats. But, a possession here or there, a guy who can create possessions, take away possessions, like that I think is something that should be tracked. What were you gonna say, Dart?
Yeah, I think for the deflections, you said that leads to scoring.
No, just turnovers. Saying? It's like your team recovers it.
Oh, I think that whoever initiates the deflection still gets the steal, if I'm not mistaken. Everyone, if you start it and you deflect, you get the steal. And I also thought for the offensive, I also thought for rebounds, if you tip it to somebody, you get the rebound. But I don't know. I thought that was the case.
I don't think so. So, like, I just looked it up again, not to be the computer nerd or whatever. A steal is credited to a player that legally takes the ball away from an opponent, intercepts a pass, or otherwise obtains possession on the ball following an opponent's turnover. So, yeah, I could tip it, and if you're the guy who actually took the possession away, I'm pretty sure you get the steal. That's how I've always understood it.
Yeah, I thought so. If I'm in a passing lane and I tip it and then you grab it, I get the steal for it. That's how I understood it.
Yeah, we disagree. I guess we have to get some kind of ruling here.
Anyway,
if a player deflects a pass or dribble and controls his deflection either way from an opponent or towards a teammate, resulting in an eventual possession for the defense, the player causing the deflection is credited with the steal. So I guess you're right. I never knew that. I always thought it was the guy who just ended up with it.
I think it goes the same with the rebounds. If you pass it, if you control it and you give it to somebody else, I think you get credited for it. But I might the steal one, I knew that one, and the rebound I'm still 95% on. I still think if you control it.
So, like, if you tip it out on offense to your point guard, you get the offensive rebound?
Yeah, that's how I understand it. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
God, I've been lying to myself my whole life. It doesn't feel good.
Wait, so does it so that in that case then centers and power forwards, I mean, they get tips like every possession. So I mean, are they missing out on recorded rebounds in that case?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I think they get credited for it. If they're controlling the tip, if they go and they tip it out to somebody, then yeah. Like if you go and you fumble it and it rolls off the back of your shoulder, then that's a different story. Kind of the same with the thing with the steal. Like if it hits you in the back, you know what I mean? It's different than you initiating it. That's how I understand it, but I might be wrong.
I mean, you were right about the steals one, so I have no room to talk.
Yeah, doesn't mean I'm right on this one. Wouldn't that be great if that's how life worked? You answer one thing right.
Yeah.
I'm so sad, dude. I've completely just been wrong on what a steal is my whole life. I need to go and reflect.
That's what you got to reflect on, Nick?
Yeah, man, I don't feel
give
good
me your
about
problems. Give me your issues.
Hey,
Yeah,
this is serious.
go back and
this is
reflect
serious
on this.
stuff here.
Did you do your number 4, Nick? Because I did Chris Paul.
Yeah, my number 4 was Alvin Robertson.
Okay.
And
So our
then
number-
I think there was another 4 to go, or no? Does someone else have a 4?
I thought Hoop Scott had to give his 4. My 4 was John Stockton.
Hoop God's 4 was Cooper, and that's my
Okay.
3. So we can just go from my 3 to whoever wants to go next. We don't have to redo Cooper.
I had Stockton at 3. And really, again, this is really off the fly, but my immediate thought was just his consistency and just the qualitative observations of Stockton, just saying how pesky he was and how tough he was to play on offense and defense. Because I was looking it up. Apparently, he only got 5 all defensive teams. So it's, that doesn't say much. But to what Speem was saying is that he does have the most assists all time, and he had the longevity career. It means something. And the qualitative data. And again, I didn't really formulate any sort of criteria. This is all just off the top of my head. I think he definitely at least deserves to be in the honorable mentions, but I have him at number 3.
Honorable mentions.
No, I have him at number 3 right now. I'm saying he at least needs to be in the honorable mentions, but
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have him at number 3.
I'm gonna wait to give my number 3 because I feel stupid about it. Go ahead, somebody else.
Hoop God, you're next. Hoop God, no.
He's gone.
my
There he is.
My bad. I said it. My bad.
Who's your 3, Hoop God?
So my 3rd, I got Gary Payton, the glove. I mean, his reputation speaks for itself. I mean, you don't make 9 all defensive first teams if you're not a dog on defense. Of course, he won Defensive Player of the Year in the era with Michael Jordan, to me, which is phenomenal. He's also one of the few players that actually would go at Michael Jordan. Unfortunately, it would expend all of his energy on defense, so he wouldn't be able to perform when he's on offense. But no, Gary Payton's one of my favorite defenders of all time. Like a guy just gonna go out there, get in your head, the psychological game too, because I don't think that gets brought up enough. Like I seen that guy literally go out there and just torture Jason Kidd at times. But this was granted the younger Jason Kidd until he got older. The only other guard that gave Gary Payton fits was John Stockton, and he's on record saying that. He was like he would rather guard Michael Jordan than guard John Stockton. And I try to tell people that, not to digress, like when they, Stockton this, Stockton that, I'm like, okay, well, go listen to what Gary Payton said, because you're not going to convince me otherwise. This guy is arguably a top 10 to top 20 defender of all time at that position. So, to try to bag on him, I'm not listening to that. But yeah, I got the glove. GP got him 3rd on my list behind 2 more significant defenders.
I have him at 3 as well. That's so weird that you said that. But the question I was going to ask was, would he be 1 or 2 if Jordan wasn't probably number 1 on the majority of this panel's list?
All right, so I have to admit, since you brought it up, I was Mr. Contrarian, and I left Michael Jordan off my list just to be different. I wanted to be different. I wanted to shout out some other guys. We talk about Michael Jordan a lot. He is top 5, yes, absolutely. I left him off I just wanted to shout out some other players.
Wait, Nick,
greatness.
Nick,
that just goes.
Why was the comments saying you should be in jail? What happened?
Because I was wrong on the rebound stat or the steals thing, and I just looked up rebounding too. A player who saves the ball or tips it back that results in a possession gets the stat for the rebound as well. So Dart was right on both of them. I was wrong on both. I feel empty inside. It really hurts. Like I was completely wrong. Oh
Nick,
well.
sometimes I question your Michael Jordan fandom.
Hey, I'll tell you. I told Universal I never claimed to be a Michael Jordan fan.
Sad.
Sad.
Anyway.
We can't all be perfect.
Yeah. So are we
So
on number
that's-
2? Did everyone go through number 3?
I think so.
Yeah, I gave my 3.
Who's on number 2? Hoop God?
Oh, everybody else gave their number 2?
No, everyone has given their number 3.
Oh, yeah. Gary Payton was my number 3.
Yeah, and I had Cooper number 3. You had Stockton number 3.
Yep.
And Speem, you gave yours too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My 3 was Peyton.
All right, my number 2 is Sidney Moncrief.
Nice.
I don't think that's controversial, but it might be. 2-time DPOY, 5-time all defensive. I feel like that one's pretty safe.
When did he retire?
He retired. That's the thing. He only played like 11 years. He retired in 1990-1991 season, and he'd only played 33 games that year. He actually pulled a Jordan. He was retired the year before that. He came out of retirement, and he actually only played I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, he played full seasons. Never mind. He played over 50 games just about every year. 50, 60, 70 games. So 91 he retired though.
Okay.
Sidney Moncrief for that Bucks team in '85, I think that they won. They had 3 of the top 5 defensive player of the year votes on their playing on their team. It was just a loaded defensive team, let alone just a really good team altogether.
Yeah, didn't AOH do a stream with one of y'all or a couple of y'all about how many, without Jordan, what would the Bucks have possibly achieved?
Yeah,
Cavs.
I think it was the Cavs.
Okay.
But yeah, the Bucks. The Bucks were loaded, but they still kept losing to the Celtics.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who wants to go next for number 2?
I'm gonna say mine, and then I'm just gonna shut up. Kobe Bryant's my number 2. He has a ludicrous number of selections. I truly believe he could guard 1 through 5, especially if your 5 is like Dwight Howard, or somebody like that. He anchored a whole team while also killing himself on offense. So for him to have the wherewithal to put up that many shots, for better or for worse, but also guard up and down the floor, it was just insane to me. And there's only one player I could think of that did it better.
I also got Kobe at number 2.
Nice. Pacified.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Again, this is my on-the-fly list.
Who do you have, Hoop God?
So I got Sidney Moncrief, all NBA second team 4-time, all defensive team 1 time. But what's just shocking is that he won the DPOY 1 time as all defensive first team, and he won DPOY as all defensive second team. Granted, I know he probably got beat out by Alvin Robertson for all defensive first team, but hey, he still walked home with the trophy. But no, I got to give Sidney Moncrief his just due. I mean, of course, he's another one that played in the 80s right along with Michael Cooper, going up against great wing players like Bernard King, Dominique Wilkins, Michael Jordan, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, John Stockton. I mean, the list goes on. So for him to be in that era and be able to hold his own on the defensive side, that's remarkable to me. And then he, like I said, he won the award twice. So I got to acknowledge him on that one. So got Sidney Moncrief. It's my number 2 as well.
All right.
Nick, you give yours?
Yeah, I got Sidney Moncrief as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then my number 1, again, as I left Jordan off, as I told you. So I have Gary Payton as my number 1. And, I got to be honest, I'd probably put him over Jordan anyways. The main reason, I want a guy at the point who's going to guard the point guard, the other team's general, the other team's a guy that is setting everything up. If he's going to hound him full court and he is up for the challenge, he loves the mind games and the physical games. If you can have someone disrupt the point of attack on someone's offense, I think that pays dividends in games, right? In terms of making them do something else, making them set up longer in the shot clock, right? So I think Gary Payton's, an easy number one in terms of just pure defensive guards. He would be my number one over Jordan. I'd probably say that as well, which might be crazy to some people, but my preference, a guy who can shut down the other team's point guard and ball handler, and that's what he does. Again, Jordan's got a lot on offense he's got to do. I got Gary Payton as my number one defensive guard of all time.
My number one is Detlef Schrempf.
Really?
And I don't think I need to explain myself. No, it's Jordan. You know, as I'm looking over these numbers, because I wanted to be sure, almost 2.5 steals a game as an average is insane. Winning the defensive player of the year will also lead the league in scoring. You know, I talked about Kobe doing both sides of the floor. That's unheard of, basically, right? And again, I hate to be that cliche, but 6-0 in the finals. Played defense when it mattered, which was all the time.
I remember I did a video where I averaged out Jordan's stats if he had just played full seasons up to when he retired for Washington. I think he'd be number 3 in steals all time. If I remember right, it's been a while if you average it out.
They did something about that, like his Washington years. Like even if you take those out of the equation, it's like he's still an entire career above like everybody else.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Yeah.
And the blocks, the blocks and blocks and steals as a guard, like the only player to 2 times have 200 steals and 100 blocks in a year. I think Akeem did it once and Scotty did it once, something like that. But the only player to do it twice is pretty crazy. I think his blocks per game as a guard are tied with Dwayne Wade, I believe, or they're like neck and neck for 1 and 2, something like that.
I knew D Wade was up there, for sure, because he in the post he was an amazing defender, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
You know who my number one is?
No idea.
Gail Goodrich.
LeBron or Ramon James. You want to know why? Because on Basketball Reference, he was listed as a point guard once. He's been listed at all 5 positions, so he can guard all 5 positions.
True.
But in all reality, I think that LeBron was pretty good during his time as a defender, during his peak, specifically, and more so in his early years. I think he's teetered off. I think for the purposes of this, though, I think most people generally associate him as a forward, even though I think he's a guard. I think he's always been a guard. I think really because of him being the primary ball handler, I would list him as a point guard, but people want to get all technical with this point forward stuff. I think it's an offensive name, but I digress. I think it's Michael Jordan. Again, I mean he got the most first or as a guard. What was he? He's got nine.
I think he's behind Tim. He's behind what? Tim Duncan and Kobe, I think.
Yeah.
There's maybe a couple others.
Yeah.
Him GP 10 or something.
No, him, GP, and Kobe are tied for first team all defense, but Kobe got 12 total.
Dark, can I say something real quick, piggybacking off of something you said?
Yeah.
I know you made the joke about LeBron being the 1 through 5, but I do think that a lot of his marketing and a lot of his quote unquote pass first persona has to do with how he is, where he shows up on the lineup, right? Like if he shows up on the lineup as a point guard, It's like, all right, well, you're supposed to average 9-10 assists a game. But if he shows up, small forward, even power forward, it's like, oh, well, now you got this 3 or 4 that also happens to be a quote unquote pass first player. So I think that his kind of just like random placement within those positions has a lot to do with how he's perceived. And I think that's intentional.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And then, but that's a great point, to market his passing more so. That's a great point. And I think the same with how they have him listed on some of these sites, as being a center for a whole year or being a power forward for a whole year. He's been listed at every position for a whole year on Basketball Reference, and that I think is no coincidence for a lot of them being one-offs. I think it's just another narrative-based thing to push him as the greatest of all time, and that's fine. I mean, that's what they want to do. I think just people should be, cognizant of somebody just saying they're playing this position versus what they're actually doing a majority of the time. And everyone knows you can do everything on a basketball court. You can be a post player. You can be a pass, the guy who brings the ball up, all this other sort of stuff. But the to be listed as that for an entire year, in my opinion, is purposefully misleading, especially as people go farther away from actually watching LeBron James. Yeah,
it makes me wonder why AD isn't listed as a center or a power forward. Like there's always that confusion about his role.
Yeah. All right, Hoop God, who you got number one? Sorry.
JJ Redick.
Yes.
Nazism.
And of course, I got MJ. I think Nick, you alluded to it. I think it was you or Dart. It might have been Spain, but yeah, the season where he had 200 steals, 100 blocks, man, that's crazy. Like that's putting in work. Not to mention, he still has the most blocks amongst shooting guards all time. D Wade is not far behind him. I was just looking at it, but yeah, he's still currently number one in most blocks all time, because I saw this joker in the comments talking about the same people who like to acknowledge John Stockton, but they hate on his glorious Kings all-time points. Well, John Stockton didn't stat pad steals, just like Michael Jordan didn't stat pad blocks. Like they got it the authentic way. So that's why we give them all the due and respect in the world. And then 9-time all defensive first team, one defensive player of the year and MVP in the same season. We've seen the defensive job he did on Magic Johnson, that for some strange reason, it's this narrative that gets revised that Scottie Pippen was the one that had Magic the entire time. And Pippen is on record saying Michael Jordan's defensive impact on Magic is like ultimately what, resulted in us winning this series. Of course, his battle with Clyde Drexler in the 92 finals and then going up against KJ in the 93 finals. So, I mean, the record speaks for itself. But, yeah, you got a guy like Jordan who can be a point of attack defender. He can pick up 94 feet if need be. One possession defender that can go out there and just get that stop when you absolutely need it. And then, of course, he can play the psychological game. He can get in your head, make you doubt yourself. So, of course, no surprise. I got MJ number one, all-time greatest defensive guard on my list.
Yes, I was about to say something about Jordan. Oh, yeah. So when I was doing that Jordan video, someone had a nice breakdown of all the playoff matchups the Bulls had with Scottie and Jordan, and how essentially Jordan drew the harder defensive assignment like 60% of the time over Scottie. Now, I know there's more context to that, and you can go deeper and all kinds of things, but this whole narrative that like Scottie did all of the defensive dirty work, right? And always had to guard the hardest guy, right? That's Scottie is a great defender, but that's one I never liked, is like he somehow trying to retcon that Scottie guarded the hardest guy every time. And this guy had a nice breakdown of like who guarded who during their playoffs when they were together on the Bulls, which was like pretty interesting.
Did anybody? So 2 things. Did anybody mention Andre Iguodala as a honorable mention? A and B. Did any of you mention Kawhi?
Wait, I thought
I got
Iggy
Kawhi as a small forward.
Okay. Yeah, Iggy's a small forward.
What about Iggy? Iggy's small forward too, right?
Because they both played guard positions, though. It goes back to that whole how they're, what they're labeled as.
Yeah. That's why like I had to make that rule. I was like, I only want like pure guards, guys who play guard 90% of the time, right? That's kind of why I had to put that rule in, because I was starting to kind of venture further and further off.
That's interesting, though. That says a lot about, that just says a lot about the guard position in the league right now. It's a hyper position. 20 years from now, they might as well just do away with it, and they might as well just say point forward.
Yeah, and as Dart was talking about the whole point forward thing with LeBron, it kind of made me think about also why I did like Gary Payton so much, and that's because in an era, right, where the point guard was the point guard as we traditionally think of it, right? Every game he was sticking his nose, in everybody's business and causing chaos and guarding the guy who was dribbling the ball most of the time, right? And then it made me think, well, what if Gary Payton played today and he had to guard someone like a Luka or a LeBron, would they keep him on the smaller guy no matter what? Would he guard a LeBron or a Luka? Would he struggle with the bigger players nowadays, right? Like Gary Payton wasn't necessarily the biggest guy, right? He wasn't, I guess, the smallest, but he was definitely on the smaller end. Like what, and then, maybe think about how good Jordan was, because Jordan, 6'6", 180, 200 pounds, whatever he might weigh in at, think about how he could still translate and still be as dominant defensively today. Gary Payton might be a little lost in today's NBA game with no kind of probably a 3-point shot or a bag, as they say. He wasn't really known for. What do you think about that? You think Payton, he'd be on a team for sure, like he'd start, I think, but I don't think he'd be the same aura, mythos that he was back in the day.
I think Gary Payton was introduced to current basketball when White Chocolate came down the floor and crossed them up out of the highlight. I think at that point he was like, all right, we need to go back to hand checking. I think he would just foul out most games because he was a physical guard.
Yeah, 100%.
He would get teed up. He'd get ejected every game. He was like the guard version of Draymond Green, except like great. He was just like, he did it all on defense. He talked the whole time. He chirped the whole time. It didn't matter who you were. I love that Sonics team too, man. Yeah, I think he'd be able to play. I always think, could John Stockton play now? And I'm like, no, he would just get run over, which is so weird because he's such a great defensive player. It's so weird to say that.
I think the smaller, like pure guards, guys who purely played point guard back in the day, I do think some of those guys would maybe get lost in the shuffle a little bit if they're not known to have a really good offensive game. When we talk about these defensive, kind of more the defensive point guard guys, I'm as a coach, like, even though he's might be my most tenacious perimeter defender, do I put him on someone like LeBron, or do I just tell him to shut down their best 3-point shooter coming off the picks? It'd be interesting how you would use those guys.
Wait a minute. Wait. Are we talking about Stockton not being a solid defender in this era?
No, he'd be solid. Well, they'd all still be good. My question is, in today's NBA with bigger guys kind of controlling the ball, like, would you still just go ahead and stick them on ball and say, just do what you do?
So
he break his hip so fast.
So Nick, I'm gonna ask a question, right? In the 2011 finals, if we seen that JJ Barea was able to take LeBron one-on-one in multiple situations, JJ's what, 5'10"? I like John Stockton's chance. If JJ Barea can hold his own against the quote-unquote king. Just say it.
I can't even picture that
we didn't. There's
Go
two
ahead.
guys
It'd
that
be
we
a
didn't
weird thing, right? It's hard for me to see it in a way. It'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
There's two guys we didn't mention. I think we should probably mention too. Even though it again, these guys didn't really have these numbers reflected specifically. Oscar Robertson being able to get near 10 rebounds a game, listed as a guard. You
I
know,
got a
he's listed
LeBron
at
fan mad.
listed at 6'5". I think Oscar Robertson probably needs to be mentioned in the all-time great guard defensive player list. And one guy who's more noticed or in the past for his offensive intensity, but it's not to say that he wasn't intense on defense, was Russell Westbrook also, who also would get the rebounding stats. Now, I know there are two different games. Rebounds were gained a lot differently in respect to the larger amount of 3-point shots that were taken in the modern era versus back in the 60s and 70s. However, 10 rebounds is still 10 rebounds for a 6'3" guard. So I think even just on the rebound purposes, and I'm unsure how many all defensive teams that Russell Westbrook's been selected to. However, just knowing the intensity that he played with, 110 miles an hour, and then Oscar Robertson, just some other honorable mentions.
Yeah, and real quick, a guy in the chat, just to elaborate a little more on what I was saying in terms of like a Gary Payton guarding a LeBron. I also, the style of play today we've all discussed is how the ball runs through one guy instead of the ball moving around the team, right? For the most part, right? You could even think of someone like a Jokic, right? Where does Gary Payton fit in on a team in terms of we, the Nuggets, run our offense through someone like Jokic? Where does that leave Gary Payton on the defensive end? You know what I mean? That's kind of what I was questioning, right? Would you really let Gary Payton go one-on-one with Luka essentially for 40 minutes, right? That's kind of, and he doesn't really give you much on offense per se, maybe in today's game. Maybe not. I don't know that part, but in terms of how the offensive style is run today, you kind of have, it is more or less your bigger, more athletic superstars or stars who run an offense through them, right? And so back in Stockton and Gary Payton's day, you had the traditional point guard, the guy who was probably no taller than 6'3", 6'4". I understand Magic was a thing, but he was definitely not the norm at the time, right? And so someone like a Stockton or Payton could match up and go to work against guys like that on defense, right? And then kind of like, I think Jokic is maybe a better example, right? In terms of a team that kind of runs even a perimeter game, an inside game through something like that, right? If you think about even back like with Hakeem and Shaq, yes, the offense ran through him, but not quite the same. They're trying just to get him on the low block and go to work, right? The point guard still handled the ball up until that point. But like a Jokic, right? Where would that leave someone like a Payton on defense? Like that's kind of what my theory was, or my question was.
Can I go back to your Luka example? For some odd reason, and I know you might be being a homer, so I don't know, but for some odd reason, I can picture Gary Payton doing a decent job on Luka. I think Luka is still very mentally fragile, and I think Gary Payton, he's very handsy, he's very hands in the face, and I think you're going to get a lot of flopping from Luka, and I think he's going to get him out of his game. For some odd reason, I picture Gary Payton specifically being able to do a good job. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, the thing is Gary Payton laterally, he's going to be a little bit more shiftier. He's going to be quicker. Now, if he's doing enough film study to pick up Luka's tendencies, right, trying to beat him to the spot, I think that will ultimately factor in that equation. Now, what I'm thinking of, if Luka sees that this guy is impeding him from dribbling the ball up, basically just being a face-up player, then he have to be like, all right, Luka, you need to get in the post now because this guy is front
exactly,
you, right? He's trying to stop you from, playing your isolation game. You got to get to a back to the basket game because now it's size, strength, experience. you got to use your size to your advantage, because if you try to play his game, he's going to beat you there. So now you got to play your game. So I'm looking at it from both aspects. I think on the perimeter, Gary Payton wins, but ultimately Luka takes him down in the post. I think it's that particular area is going to favor Luka, just looking at it from both sides.
Real quick, can any guard that we've mentioned, what are they doing against Kyrie in a one-on-one situation?
See, Kyrie.
Go ahead. Kyrie work. No, I was just going to say, I think the guys we listed, MJ, Sidney Moncrief, Michael Cooper, I think those guys are going to make Kyrie work. Now, I think Kyrie may have a couple of good games, but they're going to make him work. That's just my take on it.
Yes, yeah, I think they do okay. Again, because Kyrie is not. Again, Kyrie's talented. I know, but he is not physically imposing to these other, like a Moncrief or a Cooper, right? He, like someone like a, how the ball, we kind of just rehashed. I'm not going to do it, but so I think against a Kyrie Irving, Kyrie goes to the hole. Again, as long as they're doing their job, they can get a little physical with Kyrie. I think ride him out of the lane and stuff like that to keep him away from the basket as much as possible. I think, again, physically, athletically, I'm okay with that matchup. If I have to roll Cooper out and guard Kyrie Irving, I'm okay with that. I'll live with that.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of time machine basketball because you take players in from a different era and then they're playing with different rules or accepted norms within the officiating. Because Kyrie Irving he wouldn't have been able to play like that. They would have called a bunch of traveling calls and carries and just in general. So
touche.
There's, and I'm not saying it's not fun to talk about, but what if you put Kyrie Irving back in the 80s? You know what I mean? It goes both ways. It's all I'm just prefacing. But
it's cool, Dart. I'm gonna just shut up. Dart. My bad.
I love the what ifs, but when we do the time, I like to talk about clash of styles. I think is kind of what people are getting to. I think getting lost in the rules or something. I think that's kind of it's not quite what I'm. In other words, if I took Bob Cousy up to today, I would imagine him in the style of today kind of thing.
I was just about to mention.
But with his demeanor and his intangibles and his creativity, right?
Yeah. I was just about to mention that. Yeah, you take Bob Cousy and allow him to play like the way they do today. I'm like, come on, man. Like, bro, go look at some of that man film. Like, he threw some passes that I still don't see guys throwing like outside of maybe Magic and Jason Kidd. I got another one for y'all, a guy. Put Gail Goodrich in this era, and tell me he wouldn't be the first version of Manu Ginobili. Like what are we talking about, man? I'm like, yo, it's a real deal hoopers.
Shout out to Jerry Sloan as well. That was another name. He was a really good defensive player. Not, honorable mention. He was another guy I forgot.
Go figure. Him and John Stockton. That's just weird.
Yeah.
But no, Jerry Sloan would get run over. They'd wheel him out in a wheelchair. No. Actually, if you took him and Stockton and made one person, they'd both get knocked apart in the paint. Now.
Yeah.
Nick, were you thinking about taking calls or no?
Yeah, we can 100%. I'll put it real quick.
I mean, I don't even know if we need to because we got Hoop Scott just in the chat. We can just talk to him directly.
Hey, no, Spin. I'm enjoying torturing this LeBron fan because he swears like, oh, he only had 16 points. I'm like, yeah, but he only averaged 7 in the regular season. So what does that say about LeBron? Allowing a guy to increase his scoring and efficiency.
The Punani chemist, great name. You mentioned Derek Harper. Yeah, Derek Harper was another good one. All-time Maverick. I should have known that one. So
yeah, Jerry Sloan was another good one.
Yeah.
And nobody mentioned Allen Iverson either.
Wait a minute. No Bobby Jones. Like, yo, I got to put him on the list. My bad, man. I forgot about B Jones.
All right, T Perfect's backstage. Is he good to bring on?
Oh yeah.
He likes to call all of the schedules, but yeah, he's welcome.
All right, T Perfect, you're on the air. You want to comment or ask a question?
Good talk. Good talk.
T Perfect.
No, man, just reading some of these chats here, and I've realized you guys have just as many trolls as we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's all right. We love our trolls too.
And need publicity. This is riveting stuff.
I think he's listening on stream. Are you listening on stream? Listen on StreamYard.
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
That's all right. You can hear us now?
Yeah. So, yeah, you guys, there's a lot of bad takes I see here, like this guy Lex saying that. No, but just a couple of comments. Like, I think Gary Payton would be amazing defensively today because, I mean, you're just asking if he's going to shut. Nobody's going to absolutely clam Kyrie Irving, but he's going to do things like Tony Allen does. Like, he's no more physically imposing than Gary Payton, but they're just so great, like, with their body control, like their nose for the game defensively. They're not going to strip the ball every time. They're going to make you chew up clock, get into your sets, things like that. Just like, which, is very underrated. And so, like, it's why him and Stockton were so great. They could pick you up 94 feet. So, I mean, I think they would translate to any era just because of how high their defensive IQs were.
Yeah. Do you have a ranking, or was anyone's ranking off?
I don't think anyone's off. I liked a lot of the names there. I think Alvin Robertson was there. I think Mookie Blaylock maybe deserved a shout out there. My personal one was like I think I did this a little while ago, but it was like as far as the guards, it was like Jordan, Kobe, Tony Allen. I had CP3 in there, John Stockton, and I think Alvin Robertson was there too. Joe Dumars was also there.
Yeah,
I think
Dumars is underrated all time. I think
like all these guys are widely underrated. So I think you could make a good list with just about anyone.
Yeah, I think Jordan said Dumars might have been
Slater Martin.
I found this one guy named Slick Watts. He leads the NBA in all-time defensive rating. I'd never heard of him.
Hey guys, wait. We forgot about somebody. And he leads the playoffs in steals per game.
Granted, I already mentioned Deadlift Shrimp, so we're good.
No. BD, Baron Davis.
Interesting. He's the all-time steals per game in the playoffs?
No. Yeah, steals per game. Not total steals, but per game.
Right. Interesting.
When was that? Was that like that? Was that when they were the number 8 seed and they beat
I think it's a sample size thing though.
Yeah, no, he played for the Hornets, and I think they made the playoffs a couple times with Paul Silas.
Yeah, like I did a whole best defenders period of all time the other day, and a lot of these same names that you guys have came up there, so pretty decent list.
Nobody mentioned Allen Iverson, or did one of you guys?
No, he's a 3-time steals leader, right? That's kind of his thing. I think it might be all he has.
He's a steal guy.
Yeah, 3-time steals leader, I think.
I think he's underappreciated for his defense. I wouldn't put him. In respect to being able to being a steals guy, then yes, I think he should be. But we're not talking just that. We're talking the totality of defense. I really just talk about Iverson as people just saying he was trash on defense. All I'm saying is if you win, 4 steals titles, that you can't be. You can't be trash on defense in total. I'm not saying he was a great on-ball defender, that he can, that he's going to be stopping a lot of guards just with his one-on-one on-ball defense. But to say that he's trash at defense when you've led the league in steals, I think is an overstatement. So usually I stand up for Iverson a lot, and just try to bring in the context that defense isn't just on-ball defense. That's really why I defend him mostly. But yeah, and then even in the chat, steals don't equate to good defense. You know what? I mean, if you want to think that, that's fine. But
right.
they measure it. They go and it causes turnovers. That's the effect of that stat. And that's a big part of defense is regaining possession. That's really the intent of defense, is to not let somebody score and regain possession to transition the offense. So if that doesn't determine that being a good part of defense, I understand the whole gambling for steals and stuff.
Right.
But at the same time, it's it's a pretty. I think it has some relevance to accounting
Real,
for it.
real quick.
Yeah,
I
like
don't.
it.
I don't want to. Let me get this
Yeah.
out real quick, Nick, while I can remember it. Because I'm seeing that a lot in the chat. You know, like steals don't equate to good defense, and things like that. That's a manipulative thing to say in the sense that you can say that about anything, right? Like if LeBron, I'll use LeBron because everyone, nobody talks about him, right? If he goes 9 for 9 from the 3-point line, well, I can say, well, that's great, but he did it in a preseason game. It doesn't matter. You can change the context about anything. Steals, you can't lead the league in steals 3 times and not be considered a great defender. Yeah, you can pick and choose what they might not be great at on defense, but like I said, you can do that about anything in life. It's just a very tired argument, and no disrespect, but it's just moving the goalpost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like in between them not meaning anything and them meaning a lot.
Right.
I'm probably somewhere like they got to mean something, right? Like,
Right.
so Allen Iverson is definitely not a bad defender, right? He was definitely above average, I would say. He wasn't a liability, and a lot of times when we look at what they do on offense, as long as I can just say you're not a liability on defense, that is saying a lot in my opinion. Now, I think he was an above average defender, right? He had, especially in his younger day, he could move laterally with the best of them, right? So I agree. He's definitely not a bad.
Here's one thing I was going to say real fast, because like you tell that you can tell like guys like young disciple don't actually know basketball or watch it at all. Like you can and like extreme casual here is because you're talking about they want things to actually don't mean it. Like they want to discredit they want to discredit stats entirely just because of the narrative they've heard. The stats don't mean anything, steals don't mean anything. But at the same time, they're going to overrate. They're going to say, okay, you can only guard people or have an effect on defense if you're, a lanky forward or something. Or if you, in their minds, can guard like 1 through 5. They don't really know how to measure defense or their individual players' impact on stats. They don't want to look at their on-op things like on defensive rating or what effect they have on like their competition directly, what they score on against them, and like as opposed to not. So these things are there to elude them, and like when that's why they say that like they want to discredit things like stills. I don't believe that stills titles are the end all be all to measure, but you can't discredit them and say that they mean nothing because they mean that you have a pretty high basketball IQ, especially if you're doing it consistently. It's like I don't think Magic Johnson was the best defender ever, but he had a nose for the ball. He could get in those pass lanes. Just guys like Stockton, they're the same thing, like active hands, and those do contribute. Obviously, they're possessions that your team gets, the other team doesn't. And it's an idiot to try to discredit them.
Yeah, and he's saying so. This is also one of my like pet peeves in the greater like debate when we're just talking about a broad topic and someone will pick a needle. He says, "Well, since Steph Curry won a steals title, does that make Steph Curry a good defender?" No, you know what I mean. Like you can find a contradiction almost anywhere if we are going to pull from all of history and all the players, right? Nothing is ever going to just shoot a straight shot and you nail it. You know what I mean? So no, Steph Curry is not a good defender. Is he a liability? Maybe not that bad, but he's definitely not a good defender. He's definitely not as good as AI was.
It's silly to even acknowledge a statement like that because it's a loaded question. Well, is Steph Curry good because of X, Y, and Z? Obviously, he's not, and you know what you're doing when you say stuff like that. Because even a casual fan, not a good defender. He's a liability on defense. Pretty much every possession, players hawk him out. They look for him. So you know what you're doing. You're saying, well, is he a good defender because he led the league in steals? That's not what we're saying. Like it's wild to me.
No, but this is what I'm saying is that Steph Curry is able to pickpocket and intercept passes within passing lanes. Again, it doesn't mean he's a great on-ball defender, but that's what I'm saying is people will hyper focus on on-ball defense. It's more than just that. So it's if you want to say that AI or Steph Curry were not great on-ball defenders, then sure, I'm not gonna really push back that hard in respect to the NBA circles. But when you say they can't play defense at all and they lead the league in creating turnovers in respect to the steals, you can't say that they weren't at least formidable defenders because they were able to do that. So it's yeah.
Sorry guys, I'm real quick. I gotta bust in. Young disciple, your boy LeBron called himself a steals champion or assist champion or some bullshit the year he led the league in assists. Who calls themselves an assist champion? Right. You move the needle. Go ahead. Yeah. I'm sorry. I had to get that out.
No, you're good. I wanted to follow because I think all you guys made great points on defense. And I just wanted to chime in as well. See, the way they look at it is so shallow-minded because they're only going to look at steals. I think T Perfect stated this. But when you watch the game, right, you can see when Steph Curry can, he can alter the path of a pass or a dribble by doing what? Disrupting the passing lanes, right? But that's not going to show up in a box score, so they're not going to watch the game, right? Not only that, but then we could also say, okay, well, how many times did Steph Curry disrupt an opponent's shot just by contesting, right? They don't watch that. So all that stuff goes out the window because they're going to focus solely on steals. Like, to me, like you said, yeah, it's that manipulating, like gaslighting, because it's like, there are multiple ways of playing defense, like drawing charges, for prime example. That's defense. It's not just can you get a steal, can you get a block? No, everybody's not going to do that. But if you can hound the guy for 94 feet and wear him down and make him commit a careless turnover, like that's defense. But they only see basketball through 5 particular categories.
Yeah. Also, this guy is like, okay, so he's like zeroing in on Steph Curry, but Steph Curry plays within, like, you play within the defense that you're in too. Like, you're not no one plays on a defense where they're going to be expected to guard all 5 guys and be the only impactful player. And you match up with the guys that are generally at your position. Obviously, you switch sometimes too, but you're going to have an impact. But it's just like when you're looking at them in a vacuum and saying, "Oh, this guy is a 6'2" guard." Of course, he's not going to guard your like 6'10" center the majority of the time. But guys like Michael Jordan, like we're not going to discredit him from steals because he's one of only 2 players in NBA history to actually lead, be top 5 at his position in steals and blocks per game. The other guy is Hakeem Olajuwon, and like we're not going to be like, "Oh, that doesn't matter." But like it was a totality of how great defensively he was. And the same thing with like Steph Curry. He might not be a lockdown guy, but like to just discredit that and be like he's not, a great defender just because you don't think he can lock down like the best scorers out there is an asinine take.
Yeah, and like I think also like this is what I mean where people get hyper focused and they don't get the context. He said, "Well, Steph's never made an all defensive team," and it's like, well, who is saying no one here is saying he's a great defender. No one's saying that.
Right.
And there's only there's 2 all defensive teams. Does that mean everyone else in the league is trash on defense if they don't make an all, we're talking context here. Steph Curry doesn't deserve to be on an all defensive team. Does that make him a trash defender? No, I don't think so. Like, I think that he's maybe somewhere in the middle, right? Like what we're saying, we're being a little nuanced with probably not the best on-ball defender, maybe not the most physically imposing, right? But he's got good hands. He seems to be in the right place at the right time. So he can't be totally garbage, right?
Plus, he's carrying a team offensively most times. So, like, what do you want?
All right. Do we have any last comments? I think we're kind of winding down here. Any last words?
I'd love some of these guys to call in. I mean, this is my favorite part is the arguments. I love arguing against illogical people. So I'd like to do it like over the you know what I mean, like voice to voice. Like this chat stuff is cool and all, but who's got said it himself, gaslighting.
Speak from experience, but on the other show, like they never call in. Like you call them out, debunk their bad takes in the chat, they'll never call in because they'll just get exposed live.
Yeah, and the few times I call in to like a Johnny or something, like it ends up just becoming like all you gotta do is just call in and make a point, and that just kind of becomes a conversation after that. But right. He also said CP3 is a good defender and Steph isn't. I don't think anyone is arguing that. Or
he said he's going to call in right now. That's what he just said.
Okay.
What did I Steph isn't?
Good. What's up, T Perfect?
I was just saying, like that's a stupid comparison. You're comparing one of the best defensive guards in NBA history to somebody that we're not saying is a top 5 defender, but you're saying he's a liability, which is factually incorrect. Just a dumb comparison.
Yeah.
What's number? Hit the link, scrub.
I was just going to tell him click the link. I wasn't going to do all that.
I wanted to say for this Sunday show that I think the subject is going to be if this isn't the title exactly, but what do you want for Christmas from the NBA in respect to what could you change?
That's a good question.
Yeah, so that's I'm flirting around with the title. I want it to be impactful, but it seems a lot of the things I've been coming up with are just too long. But yeah,
I think
something
for
along
our
the
group
lines of-
that
yeah,
I think for our group that's a great topic.
yeah, absolutely.
People are gonna have a lot to
Christmas?
say, I think.
Interesting. How about some like decent games?
Like even if you're a hater or even if you like where the NBA is at right now, that's a good topic, right? No matter where you're coming from, you're just like, what would I like to see or change?
Yeah.
All right, he says he's calling in now. Give him a minute or so.
I want on 10 game Nuggets winning streak. That's what I want.
Yeah, I want the Mavs to finish in the top 4 in the West.
I want the 70s.
Yeah.
I want the 76ers not to disappoint me again, but they're going to.
Too late.
All right, Dart, let's not be ridiculous here.
That's too much. It's not a real.
I want Embiid to play more than 40 games.
Yeah, who plays longer, Embiid or Simmons?
Damn.
Someone's gonna get traded again.
He's a criminal. Period.
Simmons is going to end up being that guy who's like people are just going to keep like doling out his contract later and later. He's going to be like 50, still drawing an NBA, $100,000 a year or something like
Gilbert
that.
Arenas was making that kind of money too.
Yeah, something like that. He's going to be something. People are just going to like kind of mortgage off his contract through the years to kind of use them as trading pieces or matching salary caps and whatnot.
I can't believe he's still. Oh my god.
They should have fired. Like, I don't know if you could be fired from the league, but I mean, you're out of here, bro.
Yeah. All right. Pam Brown is backstage. I don't know if that's him.
Is that Young Disciple?
We'll find out.
Well, yeah, I know Pam Brown's a troll. I don't know if Pam Brown and Young Disciple are the same person.
Oh, okay. Pam Brown, you have a comment or question?
No, y'all said people scared to call in, so I called in. What's popping?
What's your comment or question?
What's your argument?
What's up?
What's your argument?
Y'all want to hear all the comments?
No, I'm asking you. What's your argument to anything we said?
Hey, bro, I'm saying I got a million. I'm saying I got a million. I got a million arguments against all the shit that y'all say. Like, give me one.
What's your number one issue? What's the number one thing you disagree
with? From Braun on. But hey, Michael, George, you know what I'm talking about, Dart. Hey, Dart, you wrong for what you did the other day, Dart, talking about I was making racist comments. You know I would never do that, bro.
Are you in the bathroom?
But yeah, my name's Pam, bro.
Are you in the bathroom?
All right. So I don't know anything about that.
You said what?
You were saying that AOH was a white boy.
No, I'm not even.
I mean,
no, that's not what I was saying, bro. The man called me a bitch. I'm saying the man called me a bitch. Like so. I mean, I would think anything after that is fair game. But I was just saying he a white boy with an afro. Like that's all I was saying. Like, but I mean, but it's cool. But I'm just saying, like that was in response to him calling me a bitch. Like you feel me?
Okay.
I understand. So I'll be with you here. I don't think it's all right. I don't think I thought that I don't think he should have done that. I thought that was wrong of him. For me personally, I don't like calling people names like that in person or over the internet. That's not how I do it. I don't curse at people. So to be fair, I agree with you. I don't think that was right of him to do. I'm gonna be on your side with that. But also the white boy stuff is, I'm not really a fan of that talk either. But I understand your frustration. And to your point, I don't think it's cool to be calling people names like that.
Okay, cool. Let's talk basketball now.
Yeah. So
y'all little LeBron takes. Give me some of y'all little LeBron takes.
Well, so before we get on that, because now I'm like wide awake. Sorry, Nick. when we give these examples, right? Like I feel like a lot of your responses are like these hyper examples of like the most extreme things ever. And I've only heard you once or twice. I know you're a LeBron fan, but doesn't that kind of just reflect like the whole longevity stat piece of it? That if you're looking at like everything from a bird's eye view, then anything is up for grabs, right? Like that's like saying you can't prove 1 + 1 is 2. Like, well, none of us really can because it's all you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's a consistent thing with LeBron fans is when you provide an argument, immediately the response is just the most extreme example of why we might be incorrect. So so what's your response to that?
Pam, if you're watching,
can you break it up a little bit? Say it one more time.
What's the last thing you heard me say?
Hold on, Pam. If you're watching on stream, you need to talk through StreamYard. He's watching.
What you mean? I'm talking through my earpiece. Is it my earpiece that y'all can hear?
Yeah, we can hear you, but you have a big delay.
Example A.
It's gonna be hard with like a 5-second delay.
I'm talking to y'all on.
All right, so let's do this then. So go ahead. I'm just gonna factor in your delay. That's all. I was asking you, what's the last thing you heard me say before I broke up?
You was talking about LeBron fans go to the extreme.
Yes. Okay, I'll expand just in case. Yeah, you go. They go to the extreme. Yes, they go to the extreme whenever there is a response to an argument.
So, like for example, Jordan has more rings than LeBron, but then they say, well, that doesn't count because Bill Russell has 11 rings, right? You can find a contradiction in anything if you want to, is kind of what he's saying. If you want to pull from anyone throughout all of the opinionated history of basketball, you can find a contradiction somewhere. And it seems as if whenever something is brought up for Jordan or some kind of point, if you want to find a contradiction somewhere in the history of the NBA that goes against why we like this guy or that guy, and you wanted to just pull a singular thing out and dispute that, like you could do that all day for anything. So it's kind of like a moot point. It's sort of pointless.
Yeah, it defeats the purpose of having the argument.
Yeah, I mean you're right. Like the most extreme things are like
I agree with someone.
Damn, I wish he didn't have this delay. This is exactly what I wanted to do. Damn.
I mean, bro. Yeah, because I want to get at all y'all, bro. Like, yeah, all y'all.
That'd be great.
Because I didn't heard y'all. Because I done heard y'all spew a whole lot of shit, bro. Like I know don't none of y'all like LeBron or whatever. So that's why I came over here. So I just want to hear y'all LeBron takes.
Bro, it's not about like we just talking basketball. It's not that serious.
I like LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't hate LeBron. I just think Jordan's better.
Let me T Perfect.
You got to let him respond. He's gonna respond.
T Perfect, you're rational. All right, that's cool. But I'm saying, like, you know, it ain't about love or hate. We're just talking about basketball. Yeah. We value different things. It's okay.
I agree. That's what no one criteria would be.
In the beginning.
Nigga, nah, bro, you be saying a whole. Nigga, you be lying a lot, nigga.
What I love.
Hey, that's racist. That's racist, bro. You can't be saying that.
Hold on. What I lie about?
You do a whole lot of lying, nigga.
Okay, tell me what did I lie about?
Everything you be spitting be narratives, nigga.
Can you tell me what I lied about?
Nigga, everything you spit be narratives, nigga.
Okay, can you tell me what I lied about?
Go ahead, though. Go ahead and talk,
No,
nigga.
no, Mr. Brown.
I don't know
tell
how
me
much
what
longer
I'm
I
lying
can
about,
do
sir.
this.
Bro,
Listen,
half the shit you be talking about.
if you want to go, Nick,
Sir,
I
Mr.
will go get
Brown.
my medicine and sit
No, I
back
meant
home and
like-
watch it.
Nigga,
Hold
we
on.
talk about
Mr.
LeBron.
Brown.
We talk
Starts
about
in
LeBron.
charge, I
Brown.
guess.
Mr.
If we
Brown.
talk about
Mr.
LeBron right now,
Brown.
you gonna start lying.
Mr. Brown,
Man,
can you specify
we gotta
what
calm
have I
down
lied
here and
about?
just ask the questions.
Bro, just talk, bro.
I'm talking to you. I'm asking for specifics.
I'm saying,
What have I
bro,
lied
half the
about?
shit you say about LeBron be lies, nigga.
Sir, can you
And it be
specify?
hearing us.
Can you specify, sir?
Hey, can we clean the language up just a little bit, just out of respect?
Yes. Can you please respect the platform? I wouldn't come on your platform swearing and saying all these words. Like, I'm just asking for some specifics. If you don't have it, just say that. We can move on.
Give him time to respond.
Hey, bro, this ain't your platform.
Did I say it was my platform? I said respect the platform, sir. Where did you hear mine?
Pam,
This
you're gonna
says
have
B-ball
to,
too is
Pam
my
Brown,
favorite thing in the world.
you're gonna have to calm down a little bit, or we're gonna have to take you off the show.
All right.
This is
I
what we're
couldn't do the
talking
delay.
about.
It wasn't even the language. It was the delay. I can't handle
Look,
that shit.
This is what we're talking about. They take it to the extremes. He says I'm lying. I asked for specifics. He can't provide it. Okay, move on. Then.
It's like
clear I'm not lying.
arguing. It's like arguing with your girl when she knows she's wrong.
And like he says we lie, but it's like if I say LeBron is an average defender, is that a lie? That's just my opinion, right? That's
right.
Not a lie.
Hey, wait, no,
It's
hold
not...
on, Nick. Wait, Nick, I got a better one, right? I'm gonna say this. I think LeBron is, if not the most athletic, I think he's by far, one of the most athletic players I've ever seen. Is that a lie? Am I hating? I mean, it's ridiculous.
I think you should say he's racist. I'm lighter skinned, and I got threatened every time he said it. So
yeah, and like we all know the stats, right? So anything outside of just blatantly saying a stat wrong, which don't hold our feet to the fire for like I think he averaged like 28 points this year, something like that. But like other than just blatantly lying, purposely lying about stats, which I don't think anyone here does, everything outside of that is essentially just an opinion. So like to get mad at someone's opinion that MJ's better than LeBron or something like that, I don't see why people get so worked up over that. Like, is he LeBron's bodyguard or something? I don't really get
Whenever
it.
somebody comes on like a show, like I always get like my hopes up to think like, maybe they'll come with a good take and it won't be just like, hey, you're lying. And then they won't have like any specifics like to call you out on or anything like that, like or any minutiae or details. But
it just turns into Jerry Springer.
Yeah, I'm just
And I said on the Sunday show, like even to the chat and stuff, it's like if you call, come in with your audio right, have your question or comment ready, right? And that's when he was like, I don't like all the things you're saying. It's like, okay, well, name the biggest one, and just give me one thing, right? And it just becomes a show at that point.
I mean, I'm not gonna ever say LeBron's better than Mike, but like if I was that guy, I would have been like, well, LeBron had arguably a top 3 peak, and he has the resume to back it up. Not even using anything that has to do with totals, like his resume stacks up in that way too. But when you're just gonna come in screaming, nobody's gonna take your take seriously or hear you out. So.
Okay, so Tyson 3 Thomas asked me a question. Can Hoop God explain why Marcus Smart would not be a good defender in the 80s, 90s when he says players carry and travel in today's game and play in more space? Can he explain? So I've never stated that Marcus Smart wouldn't be a good defender. I believe he'd be solid. Now, Tyson, I would say this. He's not going to be able to do all that flopping, like trying to foul back. Like, nah. Now, just looking at it from an objective lens, I think Marcus Smart has the mentality to survive in the 90s because you got to have that dog. And for him to win a depoy, like you don't just go out there and just, give 80%. Like, no, you have to hustle, dive for loose balls. I mean, you just got to go out there and do the dirty work. I think he'd be a solid guy. I'm not going to say he wouldn't be a good defender. No, I'm not going to make that statement.
Yeah, and I would say if players are carrying or traveling, that makes them harder to defend. I mean, technically, right? If they're getting away with more, right?
Especially
if
that's the norm.
All right, guys. Pamela Taylor is backstage.
No.
Let him in. Let him in.
We're gonna let him in. But just so y'all know, Pamela Taylor, do you have a question or comment?
Now I'm back now. Yeah, I went down on my other phone.
That's better. That's better.
Thank you. This is great. Can you narrow down what your issue? Like, can you narrow down just what your issue was? Hold on, Speed. Hold on, Speed, man. Let me get back to this. Let me get back to this hoop guard nigga right quick. Bro. All I'm saying is, bro, everything I hear you say, nigga, be narratives, nigga.
AOH is not here though. He's not here. He's not here. He's not here.
What you said?
AOH is not here.
Okay, well, no, I ain't talking about AOH.
He's talking about hoops guys.
I'm talking about
narratives. Narratives are just opinions. That's all. Like, it's just a narrative is just an opinion.
But bro, what I'm saying when it's the same recycled ass shit, nigga that's been said, nigga, for 10, 15 years, nigga, that's what I don't get with. What I'm saying is that it's like, I mean, I get that y'all don't like LeBron. But keeping all that shit, nigga, going, nigga, without any facts, nigga, backing it up, nigga, that shit weak to me. But let's just talk basketball though.
But here, real quick, my response is what you said. You just described LeBron's entire media campaign. With all due respect, you said, it's the same narrative over and over again. That's literally what we're going through right now. The same repeated year 20. What? Okay, but again, you're doing that thing. You're pointing out one thing that I said, and you're not picking up the major principle that I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's been the same repeated. Yeah, it's year 30, it's year 40. It's year 67. It's the same thing every year. It's the same narrative every year. So it's really easy to do that for pretty much any situation, specifically with LeBron, and that's on both sides. And that's why I always say I want you guys to call in, because we're both guilty of it. We're both guilty of repeating ourselves, right? But that's kind of what it takes when you have two people just yelling over each other. And the one thing that I'm a vouch for everybody, at least on this panel, we at least, not me, because I don't know stats, but for the most part, most of these guys at least have numbers to back up what they're saying. And I'm going to generalize here, a lot of LeBron fans just have to go off of basically myths, stories, narratives. So it's that's all I'm saying. Bro, I wasn't trying to cut you off or nothing.
I can't speak for all LeBron fans, bro. All I can do is speak for me, and that's what y'all do a lot, bro. Like on some real shit. Like y'all do that a whole lot. But like what y'all do is y'all like to argue against LeBron, right? But y'all always go to LeBron fans. Like, fans don't have nothing to do with nothing, bro. Like, fans are just fake.
If I can interject,
I can't even talk. Bro, can I talk?
Because if I can interject, like anything, again, like I was saying, anything outside of what the stats are on paper becomes an opinion. You become a part of the fandom. You begin to talk and argue amongst each other, right? So whenever we are debating or having conversations, like the majority of the pool that we're going to go to get our opinions from in terms of what the other side is saying are LeBron fans. And when LeBron fans want to talk about what the old heads are saying or what Michael Jordan is saying, they're going to go to Michael Jordan fans and they're going to look at what they're saying and they're going to give a rebuttal or something like that. So like
the fans are the best.
Okay. Well, in that case, bro, what y'all need to do is y'all need to only talk to LeBron fans. Nigga, don't argue, bro. Y'all bring up LeBron, right? And in the same breath, y'all talk to his fans. Bro, Michael Jordan fans, LeBron fans, they got shit to do with shit. Like, to be honest with you, bro. Like that's what I don't understand, nigga. If y'all gonna talk about LeBron and y'all gonna argue LeBron, just argue LeBron. It shouldn't matter what his fans say, bro, because all his fans don't say the same shit.
I see what you're saying, because I was gonna ask you to expand on that.
I mean, I feel like there's
that comes with the territory, though.
I feel like there's a lot of overlap there. Yeah, like
right.
You can't. There's no way of getting out of that, right? That if I want to argue just for Jordan, right? A LeBron fan is going to come around and say, well, what about these stats of LeBron, right? I am kind of simultaneously arguing the players and I have to argue what the other side is saying, right? Like, I don't understand why I can't.
You can't just argue. So you saying you can't just argue MJ?
Yeah, that's what I just said. I can if you would like. But anyone who gives a rebuttal will then immediately become a LeBron fan, right? If you're going to come in for, if I say Michael Jordan is the GOAT because of these reasons, and if someone comes in and says, well, I think LeBron is the GOAT because of these reasons, how do I debate him in the way that you would like?
You debate the reasons. It has nothing to do
Right,
with his friends,
who is providing the reasons? Who is providing the reasons for LeBron? Who is providing the reasons for LeBron?
What you said? What?
Who is providing the reasons for LeBron? So when someone argues on behalf of LeBron and they give their reasons, just like you're saying, just give reasons. What should I do?
Bro, bro, this is what I'm saying, bro. If I'm gonna argue for LeBron, right? Right? It has nothing to do, nigga, with what Jordan fans got, bro. Like what y'all group up, what like that's weird to me, bro. Like just like it's weird to me that the same dudes that's hypercritical of LeBron, right? The same dudes that's hypercritical of LeBron are now hypercritical of his son. That's weird to me, bro. Like,
but he makes us. That's what I'm saying. Like we're just not supposed to talk about it.
Bro, bro. Hey, my nigga. Hey, listen, what I'm telling you, bro. Like as I can see, bro. Like you comfortable right now. Y'all been comfortable talking about LeBron and his son before I said something. So you can talk about what you want to talk about, homie. What what I'm saying is that you don't find it the least bit weird that the same people that's hypercritical of LeBron is hypercritical of his son? You don't find that weird?
Yeah, but that's like saying people that are hypercritical of R. Kelly are also hypercritical of pedophiles.
Not too sweet, Andrew. Not too sweet.
Oh, okay,
All
right, let me back out then.
Bro, can you answer my question when you ask me one? You don't find that weird?
No, not really.
So you think that?
Do you think there are? Do you think there are any LeBron? Do you think there are any LeBron fans out there who are critical of what LeBron has done with his son or how he's handled it?
Bro, how the hell could I answer that, bro?
Well, you have all these opinions about MJ fans. I mean, I would figure you would know something about LeBron fans too.
70 million followers, bro. I'm saying, how could I answer that, bro?
If you're it's because it's sort of an obvious question. It's an obvious question with an obvious answer. Like, of course, there are also LeBron fans who have not been hypercritical of him, who are probably looking at what he's doing with his son. They don't agree with it. They don't like it. I'm sure there is a large subset of people out there.
Well, guess what, NMB? I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the motherfuckers.
Who are we talking about then? Who are we talking about then?
Bro, listen, bro. Bro, because obviously, bro, if you think you smart, bro, but that shit sounds stupid as fuck, bro. Obviously, bro.
I wouldn't expect you to think it sounds smart.
Hey, bro,
I'm saying, clean the language
bro,
up?
if it's a person that isn't a critic of LeBron, right, and then they have something to say about the way he's bringing Bronny into the league, right. Obviously, that's not the same thing. I'm talking about those who have been critical of LeBron.
Hey, Nick, let me answer that.
All right.
Let me answer that.
Nigga, answer it.
Sir, once again, can you watch the language on the platform? But to answer your question,
man, bro,
I'm trying to answer your question, sir. Have you ever heard the phrase?
Well, you just talk. Don't tell me to watch my language. You just talk.
Sir,
yeah, but like we can just kick you off if we want. If you're gonna keep talking like that,
bro, that's out of respect for the audience. That's all. That's not like a pride thing. That's just like kids watch this. Like the fuck,
sir. You're using the N word and you're cursing. Kids are watching. Can you be respectful for them? I mean, if that sounds better, maybe my delivery was off. So can you be more respectful to everybody outside of just us, the chat and kids as well?
Hey, y'all tell me what I can't say so I don't say it.
Sir, it's simple. The N word and what else? The N word. Just the N word. The N word and cuss word.
Okay, I won't say the N word.
Thank you.
I say bro.
Thank you,
sir. Appreciate
now,
you.
To answer your question, sir, have you ever heard the phrase called "heavy is the head that wears the crown"? So when you're in that position, right, you're going to get a lot of slings and arrows. Okay, just like Michael Jordan, just like Kobe Bryant, just like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. The list goes on. I mean, this is my thing. If you're asking about the criticism of LeBron, granted, got it, cool. What do you think Bill Russell went through? Do you think his was worse or do you think his was better?
Y'all just told me about going to the extreme and then he do it. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like this bro just went to civil rights days, man. Like, can we come to the modern area?
I would like to back it up again. I'm going to try and make this point one more time. How does the separation work between people who are fans or just watch the game, have opinions on players, they argue for players, they argue the reasons, like you say? Who is allowed to have what opinion and engage with whom in your scenario?
NMB, you can have whatever opinion you want, bro.
So then what? I don't get what the problem is. Like, what is the problem here? We talk about fans?
Bro, y'all argue points as far as why LeBron is whack and not an all-time great, and he's not this and he's not that. Okay, I'm saying cool. I'm saying when y'all argue those points, the first thing that y'all say is LeBron fans.
Okay, so
argue.
All right, let me give an example. Right.
I'm not mad at that, actually.
Someone comes along. Right. Let me give an example.
Give you an example?
No. Let me give you an example. I understand what he's saying too. I understand it too.
It's not completely.
Okay, so is it a fact or is it something a LeBron fan would say if they say he's been to 10 finals appearances? Am I allowed to engage with that as a fact? Or if a fan came along and said that to me, am I supposed to not talk about it because it's what a fan said? Do you understand that? This is where I'm trying to, the line is very blurred for what you're wanting, right? I get what you're saying, but the thing is, like, when we look at LeBron's career, I can argue that, and it's going to have a lot of overlap with what LeBron fans also say about him. So if a fan says,
that's cool. Like on the surface, that's cool. As long as you, as long as you're arguing or you're going against, bro. If your presentation, if your presentation is what you seen on the court, I'm all with it. I'm all for it. If he shoot over 10, he sucked. Period. Like it doesn't matter what a fan would say. It seems like y'all build y'all arguments, right, to refute fans instead of building y'all arguments solely off of what LeBron has done. That's what I'm saying.
So has he not done what he's done in terms of bringing his son into the NBA, which many people would consider unfair or nepotism?
Bro, life ain't fair.
But are we allowed to talk about it since he's done it? It's what he has done on the court.
I'm saying it's, bro. If that, bro, this is what I'm saying, bro. If that's what you take out of what LeBron did as unfair and never. What I'm saying is that why y'all don't speak on Cody Carr's son? When Cody Carr was in the league, why y'all don't speak on when J.R. Smith had his brother in the league? Why y'all don't speak on John Stockton having his son that's damn near 30 still in the G League? Why y'all don't speak on Kwame Brown?
None of those guys are argued. None of those guys are argued as the best player in the NBA.
You said what?
None of those other guys are argued as the best players to ever play and are constantly brought up by their own fans as being better than Michael Jordan. So we don't really, it's like, why don't I argue it with 8th graders? Like, well, they're not really relevant to the topics we're discussing, right? And by the way, with John Stockton's kid, I didn't like that. From what I heard, he largely got in through nepotism and John Stockton's time at Gonzaga. I remember that. I don't like that. That's not fair, right? The same applies to LeBron, though, and his kid.
Can I bring up an example real quick? Just real quick.
Talk about that, though?
Because it's our show and we can talk about whatever we want.
Well, no,
it's our show and we can talk about whatever we want. You are going to have to come to grips with that. All right, you're going to have to come to grips with that, with the fact that people on the internet can talk about whatever they want. I hate to burst your bubble on that.
Come on. That's a cop-out, bro. I'm not telling you what to talk about.
Who do you think wants to listen about John Stockton's kid at Gonzaga? Who do you think wants to listen to that? Or do you think they want to listen to LeBron and MJ?
Okay, so
if you want to have a show, talking about John Stockton's kid at Gonzaga, you're more than welcome to fire up the live stream and go talk about it.
So it's not about fair
no
and
one cares
unfair
about it.
So it's not about fair and unfair then.
I just said it's unfair. It doesn't mean because we talk about something or don't talk about something doesn't make it fair or unfair. We talk about what we want to talk about. It was unfair what he did. I think it's unfair what LeBron did. I'm going to talk about the one that's more relevant and interesting.
I'm saying, what did LeBron do? Like,
can I interject real quick? Because I do have I do have the solution.
I feel like I made my point.
Here, real quick, and I'm gonna speak this slowly and concisely, just so hopefully I get my point across. The difference is John Stockton didn't have an entire media conglomerate behind him saying that it was not nepotism and that Bronny did earn the spot. And obviously, none of us young disciples said that stupid thing in the chat about we don't know what the things were said. Nobody knows what's said about anything. So you can say that about any argument. The point is you can make assumptions and you can make, smart guesses based on the fact that Bronny averaged 2 points in the G League or 2 points in the league, got a roster spot that he didn't deserve. And now he has an entire group behind him. Let me just finish my point. Who
are you?
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So what I'm saying is you can do that about anything, but you can also sit there and say, well, why does Michael Jordan's son, why does he get his own sneaker spot? Obviously, because Jordan helped him do that. You can make those smart guesses based on the actions that took place. So if Bronny only averages 2 points a game for X amount of years and then magically gets a spot or goes from number 54 in the nation to number 7 in the nation overnight when nothing happened differently, then you can make a smart guess that he didn't get there by earning it. I wanted to throw that out there. That's all.
Okay. Now tell me this, Beam Engine. Who determines, right? So I'm gonna figure this out. Like, since I got you on the phone, I got you on the line. Since y'all are so much smarter than me. Who determines, right?
Oh, and I never said that. I never said that.
No, I'm saying it.
All right.
Who determines?
I'll say I'm smarter than you, bro.
No, bro. Like he laughed like everything. Who determines if a player deserves it or not?
That's not really the argument, though. You're bringing up something we're not even arguing.
I'm thinking of an answer. Oh, okay. So, all right. So I would say that the past determines that. The actions that took place prior to that, the precedent that took place determines that. So you saying high school and college play is what you're saying? No, that's not what I said. What I'm saying
what do you mean by that then?
What I'm saying is what determines greatness, at least in my opinion, is
I said who. No, I said who.
It's up to the person. I
have an answer. I have the answer you want. You get it however you can get it. No one is owed anything or deserved anything other than what you get.
Hey,
and I've been on record saying
I do
not hate LeBron for putting his kid what he did to get him in the NBA. I can't say I wouldn't do the same for my kid. I don't hate him for that or what have you. But the fact that you equate the fact that we talk about it as if it's some kind of moral condemnation on LeBron and his legacy and his family or something like that is different than us talking about it and critiquing it. You're taking it to such a personal level. It's I guess it's kind of hard to get on your level. You're taking it so personally.
Y'all sit on here and make jokes about Bronny, bro.
Yeah, so what?
Wait.
I don't get what your issue is. It's like I don't like. Congratulations.
I didn't make any jokes.
Like, come on, we're not the only ones
that joke about him, though.
All I'm saying is, like, do y'all find it weird that those who's been hypercritical of LeBron, right, is hypercritical of his 20-year-old son? That's all I'm asking.
No, LeBron was the one. Hold on. Wasn't LeBron the one on Twitter talking him up, talking about Bronny better than half the league? So
First of all, LeBron didn't say that.
Yes, he did. He didn't. Yes, he did. Hey, Spin, can you pull a tweet up?
LeBron said
he tweeted
was better than some of the cats that he was watching on NBA League Pass. He never said LeBron was better than half the league.
What you think?
That's a narrative, bro.
What do you think he's referring to? What do you think he's referring to?
You say what?
What do you think he's referring to when he say that?
He said some of the cats he was watching on NBA League Pass.
So
that means anybody that he was watching, but we don't know if he was watching.
I'm gonna ask a follow-up question. When he says Bronny can give the Lakers minutes right now, Bronny can give the Lakers minutes right now.
Stop. And then one other thing, he said that before. He said that before Bronny had cardiac arrest.
Sir, did he
That's
not
another
say
thing.
that? Sir, did he not
That's
say
another
that?
thing.
Did he not say that?
I'm saying he said that before Bronny had cardiac
So
arrest.
do you wait? Do you deem that disrespectful to all the players that he's in the league with at that time when Bronny's the 8th best player for his college team? You don't consider that disrespectful. That's all right. Am I right or am I wrong?
Nigga, I mean, excuse me, bro. No, I don't. He talking about his son. Nigga, no.
Oh, okay. So, sir, that's the point I'm making. You don't disrespect players that's in the league who have grinded to get their blood, sweat, and tears, and then you have somebody put out a tweet and say, "Oh man, he can get a Lakers minutes right now." You don't do that. That's disrespectful.
Bro,
and if you're not gonna be hypercritical of that, then hold on. Let me finish.
Man,
Sir,
bro,
let me finish.
LeBron can say whatever he wants to say about his son.
Can you allow me a latitude of completion, and I'll let you speak. So once again, you don't disrespect players in the league like that, and then don't push back from the media. Okay? No, it doesn't work like that. And if you're not going to hold him accountable, then you're being a hypocrite.
What media, bro? The media didn't say nothing about LeBron with that text.
Sir, I'm not talking about the media. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about us right now.
Yeah, bro. So what you telling me is y'all think y'all holding LeBron accountable?
Sir, I didn't say anything about me holding him accountable. You came up here talking about we always frame everything to the fans. I'm telling you, why are you not holding LeBron accountable for disrespecting half the league by saying Bronny can give the Lakers minutes right now when he's not even a top player for USC? If you're not gonna hold him accountable and not address that, you're being hypocritical, sir.
How, bro? First of all, bro, how do anybody hold? Like, how do I hold LeBron accountable for a tweet?
Sir, why aren't you speaking up about it with all this same passion and energy you got right now? Why you didn't have that same passion and energy for that tweet when LeBron disrespected the Lakers by saying Bronny can give them minutes and he's not even the 5th best player for college and USC? Why aren't you speaking about that? Why aren't you all that energy for that?
Because LeBron didn't tweet that, bro.
Yes, he did.
Well, you guys are splitting hairs now. That's all.
Yeah, this is getting
splitting hairs.
Like that don't even matter.
I can pull the tweet up right now. I can pull the tweet up.
When LeBron tweet don't even matter. Like that don't even matter to me.
Look, all right. If you want my opinion, I think you just don't like we're critical of LeBron. Is that's
not true?
Okay, so then what is again the issue is that the people who are critical of LeBron are critical of his son. Do we find that weird? I don't understand. Like he puts himself in that position to be critiqued. I mean, are we just supposed to not talk about it? Are we supposed to not to have an opinion on it? Like you said, if LeBron can say whatever he wants, that's all we're doing on YouTube. Like that's really all we're doing. And you're getting like worked up in like this moral.
I'm not trying to get you not to say NMB. I ain't trying to get you not to say anything. You can say what you want, bro. Like your opinion is your opinion. Like I have no problem with that.
I don't get the issue here. I still am not. I mean, I get what you're saying, but you're not hearing me when I tell you like us engaging with fans or discrediting LeBron. Like there's a ton of overlap there, right? Like narratives are said all the time by everybody.
So can you tell me what is this?
Come on,
no. What does this article say right here, sir? Because you said he didn't say
right now.
Bro, I already read that before, bro.
I said he didn't tweet.
I said he didn't tweet that.
Sir, it's right here.
That's in the interview.
It's no, it's not.
And I'm saying that other tweet, bro. And I'm saying that other tweet was before Bronny had cardiac arrest.
Sir, why you don't have the energy with this? How come you don't have energy for this? Because this is disrespectful. Bro. You know he can't get a Lakers minutes at that time. He can't even get a Lakers minutes right now.
Yes, he can.
No, he cannot. Stop.
Bro, yes, he can. Bro, have you seen the Lakers
is not replacing
bench,
nobody in the Lakers rotation right now. Please stop.
Have you seen the Lakers bench, bro?
Stop. Yes, I have.
Have you seen the Lakers bench?
I have.
Bro,
yes, I have. And Dalton Connect is 5 times better than him. Stop.
Bro, that's why Dalton Connect went in the first round.
My point exactly. That's why Bronny can't give him no minutes right now. Bronny is not replacing him.
All right. Okay. I want to get back to like the. I gotta be honest. Like it just seems like you are mad that we have critiques of LeBron, and if we engage with fans or if we engage with anything other than just what happened on the floor, you seem to not like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, agreed on all that. I hear you. I understand the distinction.
I'm saying that's not true, sir. If you're talking about LeBron basketball, sir, I have no issue, no problem. If you're talking about Bronny basketball, I have no issue. I have no problem at all. But it seems to me like the same people that was, hey, did y'all do it? Let me ask y'all a question. Did y'all
so you
do a
only
show?
want to talk about stats and things that happened on the floor?
I'm saying they play on the court. It's fair game. Whatever they do on the court.
Okay,
like
so
I said,
all right, that's all.
But
We could have boiled this down
NMB.
to is you just want us to critique LeBron as a player, right?
NMB, let me ask you one question. You'll get everything I'm saying.
Yeah, go ahead. Answer or question.
Now, did any one of you guys, right? Did any one of you guys have a show or do a special or produce content when Bronny just scored 30 in the G League? I'm just asking the question because I didn't see it. I'm just asking.
Now your expectations is people should make shorts and videos for a guy who dropped 30 in the G League. Who the fuck cares?
Bro, I'm asking a question, bro.
Hey, language, Nick.
Who cares? Like, what the hell?
Why
I'm saying, did y'all have a show?
No, we don't care.
Bro, why you didn't answer my question? Okay.
No,
So I take that as a no.
Wait,
I take that as a no that y'all did, right?
Hold on. Wait,
but y'all are saying,
wait a minute.
This man can't now you ask me to let you finish, bro. But you're not letting me finish.
Hold on, because you went down a rabbit hole. If you want to talk about Bronny 30 points, hold on. Can we talk about Quincy Glory? Can we talk about him then?
This man just asked me to let him finish, bro. So you gonna stop me from talking and ask me a question about what I'm asking you,
sir.
When he drops 30 in the NBA, we'll talk about it.
So, sir, I'm asking you, can we talk about Quincy? Quincy better than Bronny.
NMB, I'm with you.
I tell you what, if Ronnie drops 30 in an NBA game, I will make a video breaking down every bucket he makes.
Okay, cool. So, now with that said, right? On the same token, on the flip side, if he in the G League, right, where he is right now, or if he was in Summer League and he shot 0 for 15, would you produce a show on that? Would y'all call him trash?
I wouldn't make a show on that either. No.
Can we make a show about Quincy?
I've never made a show about any G League player ever.
No, I'm
a diehard Mavs fan. I follow the Mavs.
I've never made a show.
Never made a video on it.
No, I want to know. Can we make a show about Quincy? You got the show. Did you make a show about Quincy?
No. Okay, so can we make a show about Quincy? Can we make a show about Quincy?
No, I'm asking you.
No, I'm asking you.
Bro, you didn't want to make the shows. I'm asking you, did you make a show about Quincy?
No, so I want to know, would you be all right if we made a show about Quincy then, by that logic? Because he's better than Bronny.
Bro, that's like a stupid question. I'm all right with the content y'all make now.
No, it's a pertinent question.
Y'all content. I don't care what y'all make a show about.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna make a show about Quincy. All right, cool.
Pamela Taylor, you get to run.
I'm not
Pamela Taylor. Let me get this out. You as a producer, a social media marketer, you have to make a show, right? Everyone here on this panel and everyone, we have lives outside of this, right? We all work 40+ hour weeks or whatever. We have other things to do. We have lives. You want to come and pitch a show to us, and you get to pick between people talking about LeBron and MJ or making videos about John Stockton's kid at Gonzaga and Bronny going, scoring 30 points in the G League. What do you think is a better use of our time on our show that we're going to put effort into?
You say Bronny G League or what?
If I had to pick between talking about John Stockton's kid at Gonzaga and Bronny in the G League or talking about LeBron and MJ.
Of course.
I should talk about Bronny over LeBron and MJ. I should talk about Bronny over LeBron and MJ.
Bronny or Stockton kid. No,
okay.
It'll be if it's MJ or LeBron, I'm gonna go with MJ or LeBron.
Exactly. Okay, so the thing that because we haven't made videos on it, we don't talk about it all the time. That doesn't mean anything. We talk about topics that we try to at least be more relevant or entertaining or something, right? So this is why we talk about LeBron.
NMB, that's not why I'm asking that though, bro. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the same way. You just so listen to what you just said, bro. I'm saying whether you talking about Bronny going 0 for 15 or you talking about Bronny going 15 for 15, it's still Bronny. It still moves the needle. So what I'm saying is that
Bronny because of LeBron.
Produce a show. Yeah, I mean, bro, no matter what, I like that. Like I don't care about what's the
Bronny's
reason,
play is not moving the needle at all, like you say, right? It's like why do people follow Bronny? It's like whenever you get mad that we talk about other things outside of the court with LeBron, to think that people are covering Bronny because of his play on the court, you'd be
Who said
absolutely
that?
lying to yourself, right? It
Who
is the
said
off
that?
the court. It is the off the court spectacle
That doesn't
that's
matter,
going
though.
on and his tie with
That-
his
bro, that don't
dad
matter
that
to
makes
me.
him popular.
But that matter to you, bro. That don't matter to me. Like, all I know
It
is
matters
the
to
light is
everyone
on
why
him.
they cover him. That matters to everyone
I'm
why
just
they
saying the
cover
light
him.
is on him, bro, is what I'm saying. And I'm saying maybe
Not
when y'all
because of his
saying
play,
that,
though. Not because of what's
maybe
happening
when
in the
y'all saying he
lines.
don't deserve a spot, like when y'all say what did he do to to deserve a spot, maybe it's that 50 mil that he put in Jeannie Buss's pocket for the jersey sales. So when y'all say all this, how much money would Quincy Oliveri put in Jeannie Buss's pocket?
But doesn't that take away from basketball, though? I mean, you said keep it basketball, right? So in that case,
it doesn't take away from the business of basketball, bro.
Oh, now the business
so that's
is
different.
acceptable. Oh,
That's
okay.
different, though. And
So-
I'm not even saying
so
I'm not even
basketball-
trying to be. I'm not even trying to be.
Just
facetious.
admit you don't like us talking
that's
about
different.
LeBron. That's all it is.
Bro, if I say this once, if I say this again, why you keep saying that, bro? But I
Because
just
your
said 1,000
actions are different
times,
from
I don't
what you
care about
say.
you talking about LeBron.
The way
Okay, bro, you gonna make me you gonna make me say something, so I'm gonna say it because you're making me say it. I have a problem with y'all talking about LeBron.
All right, there we go. All this roundabout.
Why?
I hate being right so much.
Why?
People say I have bad takes. I don't
I'd
know
like
if
to
I've ever
know
been
why.
wrong.
I would like to know why.
Oh my god. It's like
Scheme
pulling teeth.
engine. I
Sir.
don't give a damn about y'all talking about LeBron, bro. I'm just saying that to placate him.
Okay.
I do not care.
Gotcha.
Well,
Do
thank
you
you for
understand how
clarifying
many?
it. Thank you for
bro,
clarifying.
That's what it comes off as.
It's 1,000 channels out here, bro. That talk down or bad mouth LeBron. Bro, I don't care. Get y'all money. If that's what y'all do, that's what y'all do. Like I don't got nothing to do with that. What I'm speaking about is in good faith. Like what I'm saying is that I don't have to pit Quincy Oliveri and Bronny against each other. To me, they can both make it. That's how I feel.
So you believe
like anytime I bring up Bronny, anytime I hear somebody bring up Quincy, I automatically go to that. I don't have to pit those two against each other.
so
You
only
get what I'm
positive.
saying? When Quincy
So only
Oliveri was invited to camp, when he was invited to camp, it wasn't no roster spots there. They made a spot for him on the G League team.
I got a
So
question.
they can
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. My bad.
against the other. That's how I feel.
I got a question when you finish.
Go ahead.
So like you said, you don't pit them against each other. So I can understand that.
At
But
all.
do you, from your perspective, do you legitimately believe that Quincy is getting the same treatment as Bronny?
Do I legitimately believe what?
Do you believe that Quincy is getting the same treatment as Bronny? Because if he's not, why?
Come on, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, what? So you mean to tell me y'all sitting up here really? I'm talking about realistically expecting, right? Quincy to get the same treatment as Bronny?
No, I want to know why.
Seriously?
Why is he not getting that same preferential treatment? Because he's a better player. I can see it.
Come on, bro. Like that's a rhetorical question.
Why does Bronny get that different treatment, but we can't be critical of it?
That's a good question.
Exactly. That's the whole thing we're getting back to.
No. He didn't say you said it. He wants to know why can't we be critical based off that situation alone? Like he gets preferential treatment, but Quincy is a better player. So why can't we criticize him? Why we can't call him out?
Are y'all serious right now, bro? Yeah, are y'all
No,
serious? Bro, preferential treatment, bro. Basketball is not the first or the last place where preferential treatment is shown, bro.
Okay,
Come on, man.
You admit it's happening though, right? You admit it's happening?
Man, bro, of course it's happening, bro.
Okay, then why can't we be critical of that? Because it is an off-the-court element of the story. It has nothing to do with his play on the court. Why can't we talk about it?
So you choosing to be critical of something that goes on in everyday life, in all walks of life.
Hey, you said LeBron can say whatever he wants. We can say whatever we want. I still don't get the problem here. It just seems like you're butthurt that we talk about LeBron.
Especially you. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you, NMB. Like I ain't trying to make this like a race thing.
Keep it 100, bro. Keep it 100, no cap.
But what I am saying is that for you to have a problem with it, like to me, it's crazy. It's crazy wild to me. It's crazy wild to me, bro.
I can't have an opinion.
It's crazy wild to me that you would have that opinion.
Why? Why is that crazy? People have opinions on everything all the time.
All I'm saying is that listen, bro. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying that you, in the position and the privilege that you was born with, right?
Oh, now we're getting to the childhood trauma. Now we're getting into it, huh? Does my face annoy you?
Trauma.
Does my face annoy you? Does it make you mad?
Bro, what you mean childhood trauma, bro? No, it ain't. Nigga, I ain't traumatized.
Let's go into therapy here, man.
Let's
talk
about
it. Let's go into therapy.
This is going down a track.
No judgment here. No judgment here. Speak your piece. No judgment zone.
As soon as you say the word privilege, you out yourself as a retard.
So y'all sitting here like going. So what I'm saying is a lie.
No, we're having an intervention.
Yeah, like I've been really cordial to you and nice to you, so like for you to pull that shit out, it's just old, bro. Like it's tiresome.
Bro,
you don't really have anything other to say than you're just mad. What that a white guy's talking about LeBron? Is that really what it comes down to?
You're not even listening to what I'm saying, bro. You're not even listening
for like an hour.
Okay, let me speak. Let me put it another way, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
Seeing what Biden, I'm not talking. Yeah,
here we go. It's funny how it started out as keep it as basketball, and it's now turning into everything but basketball.
Are you bringing politics into this,
bro? Like, bro, you scared of what I'm gonna say?
Are you bringing politics?
No, I want to hear what you have to say. I feel like we're talking around something. We're skirting around it. Like I really want to hear like what's your. I'm not even being smart. I want to hear what you're getting to.
All I'm saying is what I just seen Biden do, right? Is why I applaud what LeBron done. I applaud.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Nepotism, whatever y'all want to call it. For as long as I've been living, I have never seen it work out on our side. It's always on the other side. So what I'm saying is that seeing LeBron do what he just did, no matter what the public got to say, no matter what the media backlash gonna be, and him having the juice to do it, I applaud it, bro. I wish more could do it.
Power to the people, bro. I get what you're saying.
Congratulations. With all due respect, would you applaud it if Bronny was taking one of your kids' roster spots?
Say it again.
I said, would you still applaud it if that roster spot was supposed to go to one of your kids, but that nepotism still took place?
Hey, Speed Engine. Explain to me how we can like narrow it down to know what kid is missing what.
Can you explain on that?
I'm assuming you're black, right? I'm assuming you're black, right?
What I'm saying is that
what if your kid?
How can we narrow it down to know that he took a spot from a black kid?
There you go. Yeah. So what if he took a spot from a black kid?
If the Lakers wouldn't have drafted Bronny, we don't know if the kid that they drafted would have been black or white.
Oh, but that's not what I was alluding to.
We don't even know if that kid would have made the cut. It's a second round pick. Think about it.
Hey, do you like Luka?
No, I'm talking Speed Engine. Think about it, Speed Engine. How can we narrow it down and say Bronny, right, took a spot from a black kid?
So okay, all right, I'll tell you. So proof's in the pudding, right? So Quincy Oliveri averaged more than him in pretty much every single statistic. You can say
Quincy Oliveri didn't get drafted, bro.
That's not my point. No, but that's not my point. You're doing that thing where you're taking the argument and you're arguing something that yes, you are correct about, but that's not the point I'm trying to say. The point I'm trying to say is in a vacuum. That last roster spot, Quincy Oliveri outplayed Bronny. So you could say he did take that spot from a black kid. And I wasn't even thinking of race about it. I understand what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. I get that. And nepotism is a thing, and it is like you have seen it more for white people for sure, absolutely. But that doesn't make it right when it takes place, no matter what the context is.
But you say, but this is what I'm saying, Speed Engine.
Go ahead.
LeBron didn't start nepotism. And he did.
Neither did white people. Neither did white people, bro. I hate to tell you that. People look after their own. I know it really makes you mad when white people do it, but everyone does that. We didn't invent nepotism either.
Bro, what you mean? What you mean to make me mad? Bro, I don't have no feelings about it one way or another. I don't care.
Come on, dude. Don't
I don't care. What
Biden
Biden did for his son?
You obviously care.
Hey, what Biden did for his son? Hey, bro, what Biden did for his son is the same thing I would have done. I have no problem with what he done.
What's your point? Your point is we shouldn't criticize it because a black man used nepotism for his interest, right? So therefore, like, we shouldn't be able to critique it.
Bro, when I said what Biden did made me proud of what LeBron done, bro, I'm more talking to black people.
I know what you're saying, dude. I am saying exactly what you are saying,
bro.
I am saying exactly what you are saying.
Yeah, but you're victim mongering. We're not victim mongering up here. That's you.
Victim?
Yeah, you're victim mongering. What you just said is victim mongering. Yes, what you're doing is victim mongering, sir.
Man,
yes.
Bro, you call it what you want. Bro, call it
what you want. No, it's not called it. It's what it is. It's not called
what you want to call it, bro. Because you want to be. You want see what you want. What you want to be. What you want to do is, bro. You want to be able to criticize LeBron, right? Because you don't. I mean, it's cool. It's cool.
Sir. We're talking basketball. There's no need to bring politics into basketball.
Bro, I ain't talking politics either.
Why did you bring up Biden?
It's like we're living in two different worlds. It's crazy.
I'm proud.
You literally say stuff and then we reiterate what you say, and you're like, I didn't say that.
So you're proud. Wait. Hold on. I want to hear this right. So you're proud. Hold on. I want to hear this correctly. You're proud that LeBron would have enough power and pull to put his son on the team and he did not earn that spot. You proud of that? You proud of the handout? Okay, that's the point. Hold on.
You can call it a handout,
sir. Let me finish. So I get it. You have a Marxist mentality. You accept handouts. We don't accept handouts up here. So no, we cannot see it from your perspective.
Handout.
You said hold on, finish. You said you're proud that he accepted a handout. Got it. Cool. Chalk it up to whatever you want to. I don't particularly want a handout. If I don't earn something, I don't want it. So we're just gonna have two different perspectives. Okay, that's fine. But you're coming up here trying to push your perspective onto a platform. That's the point we making.
God damn, it's almost 10:30. How'd that happen?
Like, dude, it's okay if you just want to come on here and say I'm pro-black and that's why you can't criticize LeBron, or that's why he's above criticism, or he should get a pass. Just make your point, right? Like, it's you're like you're using a million words. Instead, you just come out and say it, and we can just get past it. And instead, you're beating around the bush. I know exactly what you are saying. I know exactly where you're coming from. I have already predicted like 10 things that are going to come out of your mouth before you've even said them. Like, I get what you are saying. Just come out and say it and stop. Oh, well, it has to be about basketball and the lines. Oh, well, then business is okay. Oh, well, actually, it's about race and the historical relevance of the United States, right? Just come out and say it.
Come on, bro. I said what I had to say, bro.
Yes, we got it.
Yeah, we now have come to the end of finally, right? But it took us forever to get here.
Yes, after 45 minutes of rambling, we see that you have a Marxist perspective in the society of this world. We got it. Cool. It's understood now.
Hey, so how y'all feel? Like, so tell me. So explain to me. So your problem with LeBron getting Bronny in the league, right? It's because he possibly took a spot from somebody else that you claim to deserve it.
Sir, I got a better question. No, I got a better question. Mr. Taylor, would you prefer somebody just give you 5 fish for a week to feed your family, or to teach you how to fish so you don't have to depend on them? Which one do you feel like would be more conducive to the future?
Come on, bro. That's a dumb question, bro.
Okay, so hold on. I'm glad you see that. So now, hold on. Whoa, sir. Hold on. I'm gonna bring my point home. Now, tell me what's more conducive: Bronny James earning his spot, where therefore he know he's gonna be there, or just giving him a handout where he cannot hold that title, where he does not have the qualifications to stay there.
I mean, I get. Listen, bro. I get what y'all saying. I understand. I get what you're saying. But my point on my point on that, I can't knock, bro. I can't knock what a father does for his child, bro.
We have agreed with that. If you've listened, I have said many times, I as a father, if I was able to jumpstart my kid to the NBA and play a game with him on the same team in the NBA, I'd probably fucking do it. I got to be real honest, right? I'd be honest about it. I would say, look, I want to play with my kid in the NBA. Y'all can fuck off, right? I've already admitted that. Like, this is what I mean, where I get what you're saying. It's just taking forever to just say it, or you're not like being efficient with your words and getting out what you're trying to say.
We would just prefer LeBron stop being so ambiguous about it. Like, just come out and say you got your son.
We know what the game is. We know what the game is, and he's acting like it's not the game.
That's my point.
But let me ask y'all something. Do y'all think LeBron? Listen, bro. Like I understand what y'all saying about LeBron. What would come out of LeBron saying that though?
Honestly,
what do you mean?
What do y'all think will come out of him saying that?
The truth.
Dignity.
Okay,
morals.
Okay, bro. Enough with the narrative. Let's talk about.
Person.
Hey, let's talk. Give me 5 minutes, bro. I want to talk basketball. I want to talk basketball with y'all because I think all of y'all believe that Kobe is better than LeBron, right? All y'all believe that, right? Am I right or wrong?
I know that.
I don't agree with that.
I know that. It's not a belief.
I don't agree with that.
Kobe's two-way ability puts him over the top for me in comparison to LeBron.
So you think
in a nutshell.
So you think Kobe peak? You think Kobe peak? You think Kobe peak was higher than LeBron's?
Yep.
Yeah, I
do. Yep.
Well, when you say peak, I'm thinking of like a 5-year running statistical average kind of thing. LeBron probably has that. Now, the 3-peat and going back to back with the squad that he did, if you count that, then I think. It was mainly Shaq. I got you.
But me, I don't count rings that you win as a Robin.
Well, I don't really count rings you win with 2 other All-Stars.
Wait, can you repeat that? You don't count rings? What? I'm sorry.
You don't count no rings that Larry Bird won then.
Okay, then I guess fucking rings are almost. I guess Dirk's got the only real ring. I guess him and Elijah won or something.
No, Larry.
Like that,
wait a minute.
No, I don't count any rings that you win as a Robin.
That's your own opinion, though, right? Why should we accept that? That has nothing to do with what happened in the lines.
I ain't telling you what to say, bro. I'm telling you what I'm talking about me.
Right. That's what we do, and you have a problem. Do you not get the irony here? Do you not understand the irony I'm pointing out? That you make your opinion. You are now an opinion of a LeBron fan. Am I even allowed to entertain you? Am I supposed to ignore you? What are the rules here in which I'm allowed to engage you? You have opinions, but yet you get mad if I have opinions. Like, this is what I'm saying, where you just seem like you're mad people disagree with you. And it's just weird.
Big bro, I'm not mad at your opinion. Why you keep, bro?
Because you like make rules
with your opinion, bro.
You have rules in which you argue and you engage me on, right? But yet earlier, those like same things I'm not allowed to do. You get mad if I do the same thing. Like, you have an opinion. Robins don't count. Okay, well, I have an opinion when you join up with 2 other guys essentially in their prime, other all-stars, that those rings don't really count.
That's cool.
Either.
That's your criteria.
Larry Bird,
if that's your criteria, I respect it. If that's your criteria and you use it for every player, then I respect it. So I'm cool.
Okay, so
if you say
then
that you don't count rings that you win with 2 other all-stars, that's cool then. All I'm saying is that when it comes to Larry Bird, use the same criteria. When it comes to Jordan, use the same criteria. When it comes to
he never had
player,
2 all-stars.
Use the same criteria.
Jordan never had 2 all-stars.
No, bro, I know that. I'm not saying that he did.
I guess, does that end the debate between MJ and LeBron?
To you, yeah.
So how do we get over this? How do we get over this thing of what's real in the NBA and what's opinion? This is what I was talking about earlier, the gray zone, the blurred lines, where are we allowed to talk about narratives, or is it all just stats, period, bar none, no more, nothing else, right? You seem to, do you understand our conundrum here? Why it's hard to engage you? Like, you're allowed to come up with narratives, but if we go after it, it doesn't count, but we can only talk about what's real on the floor. Like, you're all over the place with your consistency.
Do you call in the sports tea also? Your voice sounds familiar.
Oh yeah, I go to all LeBron hate channels and tear that shit up. I mean tear that stuff up. I go to all LeBron hate channels.
I know.
So you only defend LeBron. So you only defend LeBron.
Who else you want me to defend?
And by the way, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? That's what I was going to ask you, because you sound like you might be similar in age. Okay.
I'm 38.
Similar. Okay, so yeah, similar in age. That's what I figured. Okay.
Yeah. So, and by the way, Michael Jordan is my GOAT. I got LeBron close second.
So let me see if I can summarize what you're saying. Let me see, because I think I understand. No, I know I understand what you're saying, and I know what Nick is saying. Are you saying that typical LeBron haters don't keep it to basketball? They often refer to his personal life. A, B.
Facts.
Typically.
Facts.
Okay. All right. Cool. B.
That's the
maybe
first thing.
If we're talking about it, white people may not have the same space and grace to talk about LeBron and his personal life. I'm guessing that's kind of what you're speaking around to. And if that's the truth, that's your truth. But I will say, like, Nick is my guy, so I can't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't put the race towards it, but I'm trying to understand what you're saying. The other thing is, though, is like, you can do that with anything. You. Oh no, I know you're not. But what I'm saying
is, you are. I'm white. Like,
oh yeah, touche.
Look at my face. I'm fucking white.
Bro, what I'm saying is that bro, that one take that I gave, or the one POV, the point of view that I, I'm just letting you guys know listen, I get what y'all saying about the taking the spots stuff. I understand all that. But what I'm saying is that I put being proud of what he done over that. That's why I don't have a negative. I don't have a negative word to say to LeBron or about him getting his son in the league on his team.
Sir, that's your reality.
But y'all can have whatever opinion that y'all want to have.
What is so ironic here is that I think, as the white guy on this panel, as compared to my two counterparts, as you can see, I actually agree.
I'm half white, so,
I agree with you more on the nepotism angle than they probably do. Do you not find that a little ironic that you're?
It is. Yes, it is, because I don't understand how they don't see.
But then that's sort of like that sort of goes against your whole like I don't like white people.
I can answer that.
I know, but it goes against your whole thing of like I don't like white people speaking on things. It's like, well, I mean, if I can be honest, I really don't give a shit. But I'm gonna say it, whatever. But you're not being honest with conversations if that's how you go into them. That's
I never said that. Like,
did we not just agree to that,
bro? I never said nothing about you white and you can't say nothing about. Bro, I never said that one time. Like, why you?
Did I not just hear that,
bro?
Did you not just?
I'm trying to remember the example I asked. If it was that
you said that because of the historical significance of America, that white people are not allowed the same room to speak on LeBron. That's essentially what you said.
Say it again, bro.
I feel like he literally just asked you that because of the historical context of America.
Say it again.
White people. Speem asked you. He said, because of the context of America historically, white people do not have the same range or freedom to speak on LeBron because of the historical context. Yes?
Yeah. I'm not. I ain't having to say that. I'm saying that ain't my point of view. That ain't where I'm coming from. Well, I ain't saying white people can't speak on anything. You can speak on whatever you want to speak on.
Then what did you say earlier? What did you say earlier when Speem asked you that question? Speem asked you, part of your opinion is that white people cannot speak on this particular issue because you feel it is a win for black people or something like that. And so therefore the critiques coming from white people are not to be taken seriously, or they don't matter as much, or they can't relate, something to that nature.
No. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying nothing along those lines. What, bro? You can say whatever you want to say. I don't expect you to understand what. I don't expect you to understand what I'm saying.
I just said that they don't understand it. I think I just said that.
Okay,
they don't
I
get
agree
it.
With that.
Okay.
So
if from your point of view, white people don't understand something, that means you're not going to listen to them. It's the same in conclusion I'm coming to. I know that this is hard for you to track. Do you understand that if you immediately go into a conversation thinking people don't understand the topic, you're going to immediately dismiss them? But in the end, I ended up agreeing with you on the particular topic that you think they shouldn't speak on. Do you not find that a little ironic?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, well, I mean, then you just proved yourself a retard, bro, jokingly. But, like, seriously, man, come on. Like, the fact you don't connect what we just did here, you don't see the irony in the arguments you make and the flaws. And you know what I mean? It's just crazy to me. I feel like I'm running in circles.
Bro, you keep, flaws and all that, bro. We're just having a conversation, bro. Like, just like I can say, bro, let me flip that around on you, bro. That's just like I can say, look, right now, I find it ironic that you NMB, a person of your shade, could fix their mouth to have a problem with it.
Do you think that because I critique something, like I have a deep-seated issue with it? Like, do you think when I walk around at work, I'm like, fucking LeBron got his kid a fucking job, and you think it bothers me like on a minute-to-minute basis in my life? Or do you think it's just perhaps we show and we come on and we talk about more relevant? Okay, so you think in my daily life this show dictates how I feel? Really?
Yes, I do.
That's quite a projection.
Why do you think that?
That's a crazy projection.
Do you think a lot of content producers operate like that? Like, is that your view?
Yes.
Okay.
About LeBron, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
You think I honestly carry a grudge around with me about LeBron?
Yes. Well, yes, I think that, bro.
Okay, and mainly because I'm white. Or mainly because of what we talk about?
No, bro. LeBron got more white fans than anything. So no, I don't think it's because you're white.
Okay, so the end result here is if people talk about something, they carry that into their lives off camera.
I'm not talking about everybody, bro. I'm mainly talking
about me. You're talking about me. You think that when I get off camera here, LeBron bothers me?
Yeah, both of y'all. Not just you, him too.
Okay, this is where I think you take it a little too far, bro. Like, we just like to talk basketball.
I'm just giving my honest opinion. You asked me a question, I'm giving you my honest opinion.
But you understand how it's not based on anything. It's not really based on any evidence. It's just you don't like people talking about.
It's an assumption.
Yeah, it's a big assumption. It's a huge assumption,
bro. It's based on every time that I've seen you guys talk or speak about LeBron. It's in a negative light.
That's not true. I just said I don't really, what he did for his kid. I can see the silver lining or the other side of that. I think he's in my top 15 or 20. Like if I hated the guy, I wouldn't admit that. When we talk about LeBron here, you have to understand it's in the context of Michael Jordan 90% of the time, right? So when we are critical of him, we are literally comparing him to the highest bar, right? The guy's kept a pretty clean record off the court for the most part, even though I disagree with his politics, which I'm sure you can understand. And I don't hate the guy. Like, I don't hate him. I don't walk around thinking about LeBron. I honestly think it's kind of crazy you think that, right? Like, I have a busy life. I hardly think about the NBA outside of the show and the Dallas Mavericks, right? I really care about the Dallas Mavericks. But, bro, like, I'm just telling you, man to man, you are projecting way too much from this show, right? We do maybe 3 hours a week, and that's it. And I don't pick the topics 90% of the time.
I mean, it's cool, bro. It's cool. I fuck.
Well, it's not cool that you're leveraging something against me that's completely untrue, and it's affecting how you are engaging with me. And you're projecting something in your head that's not true, and it affects how you talk to me or other NBA guys, right? We are. Yes, maybe we're critical of LeBron. It is not that deep and serious, though. You need to understand that.
All right, bro. I mean, no matter what, bro, I'ma still watch y'all. I still fuck with y'all. Like, it's still cool. Like, it ain't no issue. Like, Steam Engine. I mean, he funny as hell. So it's cool, bro. It ain't really no biggie. All I'm saying,
he knows what he's talking about, Nick. He knows what he's talking about. So you can, he's a smart guy. He's good,
bro. All I'm saying is that just to me, it's just like y'all hype. It's just hypercritical on LeBron. Never give LeBron a break. Never give LeBron his cards. Never give him his flowers. I can't wait till you retire. LeBron. It's 1,000. Now you see what I'm saying? Now right there, what would I be doing? I would be reciting what I feel like MJ fans will be saying. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I think somewhere in the line it gets convoluted. It goes from LeBron play or what he does on the court, right? To do, like immediately defending themselves about what some LeBron fan might say. It's like beating them to the punch.
What's even crazier about all this is that I'm probably the least critical LeBron guy on the most of the people who come on the panel. I actually am the one that plays it very political down the line when it comes to LeBron.
I agree with that.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Where I'm not sure where you're getting this. Like you're feeling like such an emotional.
NMB, stop it. I've been watching you for a second. I've seen you several times, bro. And you be on
listen to me. Yes, you're right. I'm critical of LeBron. My point is that you are coming specifically at me, it feels like. You say that I'm the one, I guess, that carries it around. And it couldn't be, of all the people on this panel, if we were being objective, and you can ask them all and even the chat, you can come in on Sunday or something and ask the chat, and we could talk about it for 5 minutes real quick if you want. They would say I am the softest on LeBron when it comes to even the off the court things at times. So yes, I'm critical of him, but for you to come at me so hard about it, like this is where I think you're going a little too far with the. You ever heard the term kayfabe from wrestling? Do you know what that means?
Well, yes. What's that mean? I don't know what that means. What's that mean?
Kayfabe means like if it's on camera, it's an act kind of thing. Now, okay. I'm not saying I'm lying about my opinions, but I'm saying I come on the show. We're on here. We're getting views. And dude, as soon as I turn this camera off, like I am doing anything but thinking about LeBron. Like, trust me, please. I'm not going to beg for your approval. I'm just telling you, man. I have a good life. I have a good job. I have a good girlfriend. Like, I am not worried about LeBron. When I leave here, when I go to bed, I will wake up with a smile on my face, and LeBron will not be anywhere near the first thing on my head, right? I want you to know that. Like, you need to know that I'm not. It's just. I guess to me, it's just a crazy personification you've made in your mind about me. It's kind of crazy.
But no, bro. I'm really speaking about the whole channel, not just you. Like I mean, I get it, and like I said, I'm a watch. It'd be cool, but all I'm saying is that to me, it's just the hypercritical, like everything LeBron do, like anything he do.
It's also a credit to LeBron, though. Like this is where I give you like some leeway here. Like it's also a credit to LeBron, right? Like I was trying to point out earlier, the reason why Stockton's kid at Gonzaga, although it was a story for a little bit, it's not this ever-long thing. Stockton's kid is not LeBron. Do you know what I mean? Like it's almost a credit to LeBron. He is one of the greatest to play. He is the guy of this era or the last few decades, right? He is the face of the NBA, however you want to put that. And that's what Hoop God was saying earlier. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? I get that it's a double-edged sword, right? He is so good. It's why do we talk about Jordan and not Gary Payton more often, right? No one wants to fucking talk about Gary Payton on average, right? Compared to Michael Jordan. Same thing. We get to be critical of LeBron because he is LeBron. It is almost a credit to him, right? Now, we might disagree, might not like what he does, but the fact we talk about him, you're right. It is almost because he is the man for the last 20 years in the NBA. Love him or hate him. Like, you don't think that I take it so personal, right? Like a critique is not me. Like I woke up and was like, oh, I can't wait to get this off my chest because I need to vent like therapy on stream. It's just a take, man. Like it's kayfabe. I have a take on the camera. I give my opinion. And then when the camera's off, man, I go to the park with my dog or whatever, like it's really not
fuck that. When this is over, I'm going to the South Side. I'm putting the N-word right on that dude's door. Fuck him.
Yeah, exactly. I am not the guy who wrote the N-word on LeBron's garage. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that serious.
Hell no. Hey, but appreciate y'all talking to me, bro. I'm gonna call in on Sunday because a few of your little compadres they ran from me. But I'm gonna wait till y'all have a topic, man. Then I'm gonna get back on. I'm gonna come back up here, man, and do my thing. Real
time. Yo, this was progress, bro. This was like the Civil War ending.
Send this into Biden right now.
Right, hey, man, we can create peace, bro.
I fuck with y'all, man. Appreciate it though.
All right, man. Yeah, we're gonna shut it down. I appreciate it.
I'm exhausted. Right. Yeah. I'm so tired now. Can we just every we're the last two. I hope he calls it. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That back and forth. I love it because it's better than just reading this BS in the chat where people can just say stuff without getting a response.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I don't like where he was like his motivation for things. Again, it's not that serious. We're just talking ball here. And things related to ball. In fact, it's funny because I even say too, like, I don't want to get political. I said that so many times on my channel, right? Of course, it comes up. It comes across. So many things are intertwined these days, right? But yeah, like it's just I can't believe it's hard to think that people really think that like when I'm at work, funny. I'm just like fucking LeBron, and I'm mad at my coworkers, and like it's crazy to me people think that.
I think it's funny that you're targeted as like the racist guy.
Yeah,
when it's like I talk more shit on LeBron than maybe anybody other than AOH, and I'm wearing that proudly. I don't care.
I liked how like I was literally saying what he was trying to say. It was like, I know what you're trying to say. Like just come out and say it, and it was anyways. That was good. That was a good talk. That was a good roundabout. I mean, we took a long scenic route, but
yeah, I'm gonna go get high. So you enjoy the rest of your night. That was fantastic.
All right. We're signing off.
And I mean high on life for anybody watching this.
We'll see y'all Sunday.
Deuces.